Get me one of those decks.
It's good.
Normally, I make fun of other people for saying some weird things after I hit unmute. This time, I said it. I said, I need to get that deck. Hey, my name's Tony Vicinda. You can find me at Tony Vicinda across pretty much any social media platform. This is Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. Today, we have an actual play of So You've Been Thrown Down a Well as part of our Troika Fest festivities. Plus One is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, upside down cameras and dice, and a number of other things. You can find all of us at Plus One EXP across all social media platforms, or at +1exp.com. Troika Fest is an invitation to the tabletop role-playing game community just to spend some time this week trying Troika, whether that's reading it for the first time, whether that is playing it for the first time, playing it once again, designing something in the Troika Fest Jam. You can find out a whole lot more about all that if you go to, let's say, http://ttrpg.link. You don't need to type in the HTTP. That's not how the internet works. Sorry. ttrpg.link /TF invite. That'll take you to the invite video, which has a bunch of important links on it. Or you can just go to the pinned tweet at +1EXP's Twitter and get access to our pamphlet guide for Troika Fest, which thanks Vi for telling me how great of an idea it was to put that as my pinned tweet so that people could easily find it. But it's a great place to find everything you need to know, including restaurants near you at the convention center. But it's just a link that takes you to Grubhub. So like, don't worry about it. If you click on it, it will do that though. With that said, since I just mentioned Vi, we're going to whip around and give you a chance to meet everybody. Vi, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and the best places to find you on the internet?
Absolutely. I am Vi Huntsman of Collabs Without Permission. I'm a Waffle Bunny on Twitter, but mostly I am making videos about role-playing games on Collabs Without Permission, the YouTube channel. That's where you should find me. And today, should we say what we're playing as?
Let's whip around. We'll come back to that. I think we may have a slight role-playing process for character introductions, I think, but we'll just whip around. Yeah.
Well, then that is me, and that's where you can find me. Next up.
And pronouns.
And my pronouns are they, them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And my pronouns are he, him. We're going to hop over next to Quinn. Quinn, tell people who you are, what you do, and the best places to find you online.
Hi, I'm Quinn. I'm bald. There's holes in my shirt, but you probably can't notice, but don't look too hard. You can find me. You can find me on Twitter at AuthenticityTRP, not Trip. It should be, but it's not. Twitter is a cruel mistress. And you can find me on itch at 200proof.itch.io. It's not very set up. There's a couple games on there. There's going to be some more later. What do you care? I make games. I'm on streams. I have a good time.
You have released recently Netizens. Tell people about Netizens.
Oh yeah, I happen to have that little sucker right here.
Look at that.
This little guy. Basically, there's this fun thing called the Electric Zine Maker, and it makes you make cool 2000s feeling things, and it just really inspires me. And so this was for the BFB Jam, the Beak Feather Bone Jam. So just a bunch of fun little community building games, and this one is about building online communities. I haven't played it. I don't think anyone else has played it. You could be the first. I think it's probably pretty fun. I also released for the Pleasure Not Business Card Jam a game called A Most Marvelous Contraption, which is a little game, business card, fits in your wallet or whatever. Then you and your friends build a Rube Goldberg machine. Haven't played that one either. Also think it's pretty fun.
Awesome. We're going to hop over next to our GM for the evening, Fiona. Fiona, if you want to tell people who you are, what you do, and if you want to be found online, the best places to find you.
I'm glad for that if. Hi, I'm Fiona Maeve Geist. My voice is just like that. I'm not being sarcastic. I realize that this is sometimes really hard in GMing, which involves tone. I'll do my best. You can find me on Twitter, where I don't do anything professionally on Twitter. Twitter is just like my opinions about movies, and occasionally people think that I will write about games and they are mistaken. But I'm at Coiling Oracle. I proofread Troika, so I'm a industry insider in the Troika game. So I clearly know the secrets of the initiative system. Have a real depth. I actually know what the spell Zed does. true facts.
Yeah, that was
Talking.
talking to Dan yesterday. It was really interesting to find out that as anti-canon or like inverse canon as Troika is, Dan has a canonical reality to everything in his head, and people are either right or wrong when they think something happens. We just don't know it, and he'll never tell anybody. And so that was a great thing to find out. And so you're also, if people really can't get enough of Fiona, you can come back tomorrow at 3 p.m. where Fiona will be back on with Jarrett, her collaborator. We're going to talk about editing, project management, and how the two of them are basically the glue that holds a large portion of the project management side of the RPG community together. So come back tomorrow at 3 o'clock for that.
Look at how well I'm managing.
And,
I should not smile. I'm sorry. It looks like a dog with some poker cards just being very uncomfortable. So sorry for that.
we normally end with our GM because they're oftentimes the game or the supplements designer that we're playing with. They're not always. And tonight we have Madeleine Ember with us, who wrote "So You've Been Thrown Around a Well." So no matter how you read the tweet that I put out, Madeleine did not actually throw us down the well. Madeleine is a player who is going down the well tonight. But tell us a little bit about the game we're going to be playing tonight.
So You've Been Thrown Down a Well is a obviously Troika game where you're a group of criminals that have been condemned by polite society, and you've been thrown down the municipal well, which is intended to reform you, assuming that you survive.
#relatable.
And there's bugs and worms and shrimp and all sorts of weird shit down there.
My 3 favorite foods.
Don't tell the
Parts-
shrimp that.
Parts of the dungeon are edible. Actually, all dungeons are edible if you try hard. and
That's
believe in
right.
yourself. That's role playing.
I am super into right now a book called Delicious in Dungeon. It is a manga series. And there's actually an RPG that we're working on that's one of the touchstones for, because it's about fantasy dungeon crawling cooking. But that is also what that is about. And there are points where they realize they can eat the microscopic bugs that repair the dungeon.
What's
in
it called
between
again?
things. Delicious in
Dungeon.
Dungeon. It is, and it starts out super fun and light, and then gets really crazy, dark, and there's dungeon ecosystem and really amazing
Oh, it sounds like my jam.
conversations happening. Yeah, it's very, very good.
The world building of it's also called Dungeon Meshi if you're a weeb.
Yep.
It's
Literally chef's kiss. And so that said, we are doing a giveaway tonight. We're going to give away a copy of a Troika book. If there's one you don't have, if you don't have any of them, then I would encourage you to start with Troika. But we're going to open that up. We're also going to be giving away a copy to somebody else of this, a digital copy of this supplement module, chapbook, whatever the thing. This one that I have in physical print copy right here, that also comes with this same thing on the backside of it also too.
Backside and upside down.
There
That
you
looks
go.
like a really nice printing, Madeleine.
Thanks.
It is.
You can congratulate
gorgeous.
Natalie for that. She managed all the cool stuff.
Another one of these. Could you just let Natalie know?
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie, good job with the printing. She said okay.
All you have to do is to win is to be following us on Twitch and type in !I'm down, and you will get entered into a chance to win those. We'll draw them towards the end of our stream. It would be a good idea if you were here for that, because sometimes I decide that I'm only going to give them away to people who are on there. But if I recognize your name, and that means I know you, then I probably will not give it away to somebody else. So if you feel like we're friends, then you can do whatever you want. If you aren't sure, I want you to be vulnerable enough to just stick around to the end. So speaking of weird abuses of power, let's talk about lines, veils, and X-Card, which are the safety tools that we typically use on stream unless the system asks for another one. Specifically, lines are things that may happen in the world of our game but don't happen in our game. Veils are things that may happen in our game but we move over them gently, or we handle them in careful conversation. Then the X-Card is the ability for anybody at any time, for any reason, to say X, stop, us to identify what the issue is only enough to know how we're going to move forward in a different direction. No explanations have to be be provided or anything else. And then we will move forward in a different way. We do have a strong line against sexual violence here on the channel. Everything else we like to normalize the conversation around. So if anybody has any other lines or veils that they would like to name, feel free to do that, and let us know what they are.
Yeah, also if you have a tonal comfort zone, you know, because I try to be an impartial referee, and you know, there's a tone to the book, obviously, but like, you know, if we want to just kind of be lighthearted about everything, I'll try not to be graphic or weird. If we just want to make this Cronenbergian nightmare time, like I can describe in great detail medical like processes happening to you, but you know, like it's a question of tone.
Yeah, if you've read literally anything else that I've written, I definitely go in for body horror, and the weirder the better. So I'm good with whatever end of that spectrum we end up on.
I mean, if we're going for like tonal goals, this is my first time playing Troika, and I just want to lean into that funky vibe.
Yeah, dope.
I would just want to put a veil around violence against children. I think that if you just say like a character, we don't like.
Good job.
That's just one thing that's a little that I prefer to have a veil around.
Yeah, perfect.
Don't think there are any children in the module, but I will double like remember that. Thank
Why
you,
would I
Leo.
put children in the module?
Unless you're playing like a Victorian paperboy or something.
Yeah, but say now that I know there's a veil on that, I'm a child.
I'm not going to stop you.
I've been thinking about a Troika background called Cobweb Boy. I don't know what it would be.
I
but
haven't.
You're not going to
Oh.
elaborate. You're just going to leave that hanging.
I
It's just
wish I
like-
could
I think Quinn
elaborate. I
doesn't
don't
know
have
right now.
anything.
So my most
background. How do I shot web?
yeah.
That's a great question.
No, I don't have any other ones that I want to add. Again, I just want to remind people that X-Card is great. And then the other thing that we don't often do enough that I just want to try to remember, if you're really enjoying something that's happening in a moment on the stream and you want more of that or in the game, feel free to let the table know about that also too, so that we can try to lean into that as much as possible.
Yeah, if you ever want me to shut up, just get it out there. I understand.
With that said, I'm going to hand everything over to Fiona to just take us into the edge of the well that you're about to throw us down.
Yeah, hello, criminals. Y'all have been gathered here today for your crimes, various and sundry, against the great city of Troika. There are people in, you know, paper hats, like adults and children who are like, there's bunting, there's cake. They're all pointing at you and shaming you. You know, if you'd like to like introduce yourself in your shame as you're being walked towards the well, you know, like it's if you've, you know, kind of seen any public, I assume no one's been to a public execution, but like, you know, if you've read The Crucible or anything where like, you know, the whole town has gathered to basically just bask in your infamy.
If you've read The Crucible, the whole town will make fun of you.
I think that's required reading in high schools.
I
It is.
actually didn't ever read it.
Really?
I've only known references to it. I don't know how I've managed.
It was on, like, I feel like when I was growing up, it was on AP tracks, which means I did read it, which is some sort of weird subtle brag also too, I'm sure. We also had to watch the movie of it, which is
Yeah.
interesting
I
also
mean,
too. I also grew up in Texas, so the likelihood that I may have attended a public execution is way higher, but I never did. My character is being ushered towards the well. They have a gingerly stacked set of 8 crowns on their forehead, on their entirety of their head, and a sack with clanking metal thrown over their shoulder, and there is one large bathtub next to the edge of the well also too. And am I saying my crime?
You don't need to say your crime. It'll be read off. I'll have to like check Discord, so it'll be a lot
Cool.
of humming and hurrying. But you know, me doing my best screechy voiced person reading your crimes before you're being shoved down the
Sure.
well, we'll do that. If you want to elaborate on what you actually did, you know, that these are your new friends that are going to be morally rehabilitated
Yeah,
with you.
I am wearing fairly nice clothing. My name is Lexicon Lex Acon, Lex for short. And I'm definitely not some other creature pretending to be a. I actually forgot to write down the name of this this background that I am. Certainly, and not anything else. The many crowned of Bathe in Sky. I'm certainly not another creature pretending to be one of the many crowned of Bathe in Sky. Yeah, and I kind of edge up to the well and gently look over, trying to not let any of the crowns off the edge of my fall off the edge of my head down into the dark.
You know, I don't know how many wells your character's seen, but like it's a marble well and it's really nice. And let's introduce the next person just being marched up in infamy as like small children laugh and point, you know, adults tell their children that they should never grow up to be like you.
These parents won't have to worry very much because I doubt many of their children will grow up to be a crab. I am a surprisingly large crab with an equally large knife, and I am I probably should have had this knife confiscated from me, but I'm doing like this like rotational scuttle forward toward the crab,
No,
toward
you
the
get a
well.
hold of it.
Just like no one. I'm just like I got eyes on all sides.
It should have been
There's
confiscated.
just someone
Nobody
with a
wants to
broom
get close.
kind of ushering you towards the
Oh, I
well.
love
Like
that image.
they're not like, you know, disarming you. You're actually more considered to be a pest, not a person. Because you're a crab. Like
Crab.
I assume you're not being like, I have rights, because I assume like you're actually a crab. You don't have a voice box. Like you can't ask to see their manager. They're just sweeping you towards, just clicking down the
That's
street.
right. That's right. They don't know it, but I'm actually quite excited to go down the well because I am hungry and I'm excited to see what I can find in this well. Who knows what people have thrown down the municipal well?
Yeah,
Who
you
knows?
eat basically everything. The
Definitely.
glorious sea spider. Do you have a
That
name?
is me.
Sorry. Even if
Oh,
you just kind of make
I
burbling
am-
noises.
I am the crab. I would like you to refer to me as the crab, please.
The
Thank you.
crab.
Not a
The
crab.
Excellent.
Maddie, by all means.
Oh, okay. Oh goddamn. How about those feelings? I am a Gorgon she, so I have 7 snakes on top of my head. And I have bruised knuckles and I look surly and very grumpy that I'm about to be murdered by being pushed down a well. My character's name is Minerva.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. All right. My character is the background is called the Crucix Maestrum, and basically what you're seeing with this person is sort of a gaunt, spindly, little man, little guy, and he's in some robes, and there's like some buckles and straps and stuff, and just floppy. Like, how do I put it? This guy looks like if he played skee ball, he would die.
That would just be
So-
too much.
I
It
don't.
would be too much for him. Whether, I mean, I will say perhaps appearances can be deceiving. But at least he looks like if he feels that if he were to play skee ball, that would be the end of him. And his name is Pincushion.
Very nice.
Nice.
Tony, did we get your character's name?
Yeah. I don't know if you got
Lex.
it, but it's Lexicon Acon, but he goes by Lex for short. So it's Lexicon Lexicon.
Nice. Good.
Cool.
Yeah, the crowd is chanting "Enjoy the fall." You know, like people are doing the wave. it's Troika, so there are many alien species and a wide variety of limbs expressing the human joy at just kind of moving as a crowd. There's actually probably some handbills commemorating like a crab of prodigious size was spotted. You know, several local anglers are claiming that they will go down the well to capture the crab, as it will be a ferocious monster that will haunt. You know, it's irresponsible for government not to have a crab boil. Like, this is a wasted opportunity. None
Not
of
gonna
that
get
matters to
me.
you.
Not gonna get me. No.
Can't get the crab.
But you know, there is an official who is striding up, who has, you know, polished buttons and a very formal air. You know, probably has a barrister's wig and is, just for my own entertainment, looks like that weird eagle that exists in the Muppets. Because why not? We exist in the world of Troika. You know, who reads off, for your various and sundry crimes against nature, a god and man, the city, against all things, you have been cast into the well for rehabilitation. And, you know, like, probably they broom the crab in, and then there's, you know, guards who are like, are you gonna jump in or do we have to push you? Like, there's a break. Like, I can go home and enjoy some cake right now if you just jump into the hole.
Yeah, I scuttle up the side and then catch the edge of a broom and just like.
You know what? For role playing it in, yeah, you also just add to your inventory, in addition to, I don't know why you have iron rations, and I know why you have a knife, but I think you have a second knife because all Troika characters get them. You can add a broom. It takes up 2 inventory slots, and it will do all the things that a broom can do.
I'm so excited. Thank you. And I'm out of sight, out of mind, but not out of the hearts of the citizen.
Is anyone else just imagining the crab falling into the darkness, just spiraling with the knife in one hand and the broom in the other? Just.
It's exactly
Like
what
that.
happens.
There's actually like an 8-bit noise plays. Like, there's a
I position my bag in the back of the large bathtub that is tilting over the edge of it, and then I sit in the front of the bathtub, causing it to tilt down into the hole, and ride my bathtub down into the hole.
That's fantastic.
yeah, like the one guard has definitely like lit a cigarette and is like, yeah, if y'all just move along into the hole, like, you know, I polished this armor and I have to repolish it if you don't. Like, you're not even a big guy, Pincushion. Like, it might kill you if I push you.
No, I mean, Pincushion doesn't need anything. Like, I'm sure that most of the people, like, you get to the hole and then everyone just kind of stopped and was like, I don't want to go in the hole. Pincushion didn't even do that. He just kept, like, he was looking.
Read the crimes off, asshole. Like,
It's
we're
too
not
late
gonna say
down the
this
well.
is Troika and kick you in, but like, we need to punish you first.
It's too late. Beat you to the
Pincushion
punch.
has a Wile E. Coyote moment, just like over the well, and then looks around.
Followed by the crab with the broom, followed by a bathtub, and Minerva, apparently the person least likely to jump down a well.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I
so-
would say that she would look at the official, who is apparently an eagle. I don't mind, whatever. That's how
Eagle,
Troika is. And I'm going to say, I don't know how, but I'm going to find you, and you will pay for this. And then she jumps.
You will pay your debt to society.
I've made it personal.
It seems-
He's my target.
Yeah, he's definitely in his mind like doing finger guns because there's no way you get to say something back when you're falling down the hole. Like, he's like, this whole crowd thinks I'm awesome, but like probably in the back of his head, he's like, a philosophy Medusa wants to murder me. I really hope that she dies down there.
I think this guy must really have been on the back foot. Like, first I go out, he can't even finish. Then there's a fucking crab. The person rides down in a bathtub, and this person threatens his life from the grave. Like, this guy is having a weird day at work.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. There was one person who has kind of silently been to the side. They didn't read crimes for this person, you barely notice them until you kind of went over the edge and you see a fifth body falling. Just kind of a ragged old man, like rat's nest of hair. I mean, I don't know what crab eyes see the world like. Like, I think that they only have like one color, so like it just looks like a bad Andy Warhol print for you. But like, I will do my best to describe the world as a crab sees it, but I think you like smell what you taste, and basically everything tastes like food. So
I'm very excited for that. That you don't need to go any further than that. I'll run with that.
okay, yeah. So that person, no crimes were read, no sentence, but was just thrown down. Yeah. So while you're falling, the enormous and abandoned Galarian Market Well is a major landmark near the town center of Old Troika. Several hundred years ago, this marble-lined well ran dry and a new well was dug. And in what is now the beating heart of the city? Rather than fill this well, the populace entrusted the well to their judiciary electorate, who spoke of creating a facility for the redemptive and reformative purposes. As far as anyone knows, no one has survived the fall. So you each, this fall feels long, but you have time to think something. What do you think is, you're kind of spiraling down, you're hoping the bathtub is not lined up above you for pincushion if you flipped up at all. Doubly so if you're a crustacean, I assume, because not good for you.
I think Pincushion's thought is very simple. That's it.
Pretty good.
The crab is wondering. The crab didn't hear any crimes read aloud, and is wondering if this is just how it always works. Wonders if sometimes people just wander down the well by accident, and everyone's like, "Yeah, this is normal." I don't know. I didn't hear any crimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big crowd of like the food that you have to make stop moving so you can eat it. And some of it had the food that you could eat off the ground if you scared them away from it. And, there's an earthy, foody smell down this hole, but like basically everything's food to you. I mean, like the walls of this are marble, so that's probably not food. You see that as a rock.
I can distinguish between rocks and food. Rocks and everything else that is.
The two genders.
The two genders.
Good food. I think as the zero gravity, as the sense of loss of gravity takes hold, I think it's actually kind of like floating in a nice bath.
Minerva is definitely just fixing that man's face in her mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a distinctive face. Like, it's mostly beak. It's very blue. It's got a barrister's wig on. Is a public official using my usual system of naming things is not good right now.
But I'm ready.
Yeah, Ludwig Ember is clearly your new enemy, since I do this by looking for nearby books, and I can't currently read the last name of anyone in front of me other than Ludwig Wittgenstein, and I feel like that would just be weird to try and stab an actual philosopher as an eagle as your enemy. But
Kind of fun.
yeah, sure, yeah, it's actually Ludwig Wittgenstein through the magic
awesome.
troika.
Good. Philosophers and eagles are very similar, I hear.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Just don't let them near fish. They'll just go absolutely buck wild. They're just pests for it. But yeah, your landing is less traumatic than you'd expect because it's a far fall. There's kind of a comical boing, I guess, to the tub hitting this meaty sort of thing. There's just sort of this spiraling wormy shape. I guess for the crab, foodie shape, just large food that could potentially eat you.
I heard the word meaty, and that's a good sign.
Marshmallowy coils, which are shivering. You can kind of, there's like a mess of coils that you're all kind of lying on. The individual that fell last, just seems pretty rapturous about this. Kind of, has his little stick arms up and is like, yeah! The rest of you are feeling however you feel, because I don't dictate how your characters feel. I'm not a cop. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna make bad zingers all night.
They're good. They're great.
I'm in for him.
Yeah.
Sigma
So
Jam.
yeah. No. X card calling me a Sigma Jam.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
There's just limits. Otherwise I'll have to go get a Shadow the Hedgehog mask or something.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we're you're on the marshmallowy, meaty sort of coils of this worm. The air is humid and damp. You're in a big cavern. You can see, up towards the top, there's sort of the well, lining. How far up is that? Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I'm bad at scanning pages.
You're good. As you're looking that up, the crab is scuttling down the folds of this meaty marshmallowy thing to try to get a look at how big of a meal it's going to get if it eats this thing. Is this too big? Is this predator? Is this prey? That's what I'm doing.
So, well, it hasn't eaten you yet, and you're very certain of your crabby armor and the power of your claws. I mean,
And knife.
crabs are
And my
and
knife, yes, very important.
and broom. You're a symbol of armed cleanup crews everywhere. We could just teach coconut crabs to clean our streets. No one would ever commit crimes. Yeah, once the crab knife gets you, you never consider breaking the law again.
This is the
there's-
real deterrent.
The real deterrent.
Yeah, I kind of look forlornly at my bathtub, considering I thought this was going to be our final moment together, and now I'm considering that it's at the bottom of this well, and if I ever manage to make it out of here, I don't know that I can take this bathtub with me.
Well, there's some rotted ropes, jutting, hanging from the walls. Some of they're a bit up, but you could probably scavenge enough rope to maybe yoke it to the crab. I don't know if you think of the crab as I know we all think of each other as PCs, and that's good. I don't know if you necessarily see the crab as a person, but you definitely see it as something large enough to possibly drag a bathtub.
I mean, I see it as I see it in that way, but I also don't know if as I look at the crab, I look at these ropes and I look at the crab, and I don't know if I think I can get close enough, get past that knife for tying things on or not.
It's the knife that distracts him. It's the broom that really gets you. It really just sweeps
A real
you.
1-2 sweet.
Main character.
But I'll
I
go.
would say Minerva. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll go tug on one of those ropes and try to pull it down and see if I can get some some haul in a rope. I'm a pretty strong individual. I did bring this bathtub here myself. I could carry this bathtub if I needed to.
You're not a pincushion.
I'm the opposite of a pincushion.
You're not trying to find one that holds together for you to actually climb up. So you easily find one where you can tell it's the top of it looks pretty bad, it's algae eaten, but the last 20 feet are pretty good. So you've got a decent length of rope, and if you take a couple minutes, the gentleman who is worshipfully worshiping the worm, and the worm's regarding you in the way that an intelligent thing regards things, but neither of them are hostile. You're just gathering rope, and one of you's being a crab. And Pincushion Minerva, are you doing much about this?
I wanted to say I was going to address this group of people. And and say, hey, okay, looks like we're alive. That's a great foundation.
Sure.
I'd like to start. Crab, if you can understand me, 1 click for yes.
You get a prompt click, yes.
Okay. So we're all sentient. Is that a pretty fair? Yeah, all sentient.
Clack.
Okay.
Clack. Correct.
Do you have castanets by any chance?
Crabstonets.
Kick him
Crabs come
from the
later.
stream.
somebody
Kick
bounced.
those
Somebody
from the
bounced
screen.
that.
Just bounce. No.
Perfect. Well, then I'm all for getting out of this well. And I'm open to suggestions.
We could go back up.
That looks maybe possible.
I don't
Maybe.
think so.
No?
You hear 2 clicks.
Is that no?
That's no.
Okay.
This is a big well. Crab has like a worm's eye view of this place, but still thinks like, I don't think so.
I could try to just
Grab it,
like
please.
you try to just throw the crab back up. I know it's a
See
big
you, folks.
it's a big crab.
It is. What's Pincushion thinking? Were you saying something?
Oh, Pincushion hasn't budged. Pincushion fell onto the worm and is just there and hasn't moved and doesn't look like he's going to. And then like they were like, maybe we can get up, and Pincushion was just like, no.
He's alive though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, is this your home now? Do you just live this worm life?
Worm time. That's what Pincushion is up to. It's worm time for Pincushion.
Good. I'm thinking about my friend's well-being as someone who is suddenly enraptured with worm time, and I'm wondering what's up with this worm. So I want to like go over to the worm. Like, do I find a head? Can I
Yeah,
locate?
there's like a head. It's got like 6 red kind of cataracty eyes and like a lot of teeth at like odd angles from its like big mouth.
I heft my carapace, and I go up like from one creature to another. I want to just like I want to like try to wordlessly like figure out if it's doing anything down here, if it talks, what's going on with this worm. Is it just chilling? Does it eat us?
So it's it doesn't eat you. It kind of, so like you're a crab, so you're kind of like ducking on your 6 legs and like doing crab valuations. Clicking your claws. It kind of like makes some burbling noises and its head kind of follows you.
Okay. I turn to Minerva.
Uh-huh.
I turn back to the worm. I give it a little like playful sweep with the broom end, and then back away a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the worm and I'm gonna say, can you understand me?
So the worm
Show me a sign.
I actually
Makes-
have a stat that or a skill that might be helpful here.
Really?
I have 3 in listening.
Oh,
Ooh.
a good listener.
Very good listener.
So it kind of makes like gargling noises. You know, it's kind of a like, you know, coming from this like thing, and it, you know, is there's like drool, like, you know, it's a worm. Like, this is a gigantic worm. It's not very articulate. It's definitely not speaking a language. Like, do you speak the language of worms?
Not that I know of.
I turn to Minerva and do 2 clicks.
Okay, that's a no. We have established that is a no. Can I see if that weird guy is still around? Is he still
Yeah,
in
he's still like
euphoric bliss?
cooing. Yeah, he's still like cooing and stroking the worm. He is stoked about like being here. Do you want to talk to him?
I guess I'm gonna talk to this weird guy. I didn't catch your name, sir.
Greetings and salutations. I am Tim, and this is the worm.
The worm.
Hell yeah, it is.
Certainly
worm.
bigger than any worm I've ever seen before.
Yes, we must love the worm.
Okay, I'm hearing a capital T, capital W. Is that right? The worm.
You know,
Much in
like
the
there's
crab
more than
sort of
one
way.
worms, but this is an important worm. The worms sing to each other.
Okay. She's starting to get kind of anxious having this conversation
What are
and looking at the other people.
What do the worms sound like when they sing to each other?
So I am literally tone deaf, but if you know the notes to Mary Has a Little Lamb and did it about 8 octaves down, he kind of goes through that sequence.
That's beautiful.
Nice bass,
I
though.
guess.
Nice bass, dude.
The worm does kind of gurgle like, you know, a wormy version of that, you think maybe.
Oh. I don't know, guys. I kind of like the
Like
worm.
and like the worm
Oh,
seems
love the worm.
I like increase my stature like as one capital letter creature to another. That was a good song. That was a good song. I put my broom down and I put my knife down. I do a little castanet like poetry clapping, like snaps, you know. That was good. Good performance.
I'm gonna.
And then
I'm
I pick him back up.
I've been face down on the worm.
Mhm.
Like I've just been like. But hearing Tim, I'm gonna. The way I was seeing it is I've been face down on the worm, and then like all of you guys are in front of me, so I roll over. Yo, Tim, dude. You know what's going on, man? You know what's
We're
up?
down below.
Yeah, but like, dude, what's up?
Well, you are criminals.
Are you a criminal?
I love the worm. It is my second time falling. It is good to fall.
Second timer.
The
I mean-
first time was a startle. But
What?
you know, this man has seen the light, and the light is the worm, and the worm seems to be very heavy in his cosmological sense of the universe.
So should we give the worm things?
If
I
you would
immediately
like,
brandish my knife and look at all of you suspiciously.
I think
Especially
there's
Tim.
only there's not a lot of good places to put a knife. You know, you should just probably keep hanging on to that, not
And,
store it in anybody.
It's in case y'all were getting any funny ideas about feeding a crab to a worm. That's what it was.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
I want to do like a. Are there any exits to this well? Has anyone like dug a crawl space that I would be able to see like close to the ground?
there's like a way out of this cavern. The rapturous gentleman does explain that he could take you up. The only way out is up.
Well, I want to get out, so if you can take us up, that's where I want to go.
Agreed. I stand next to Minerva. This seems like a good idea.
And I'm like staring up. I'm looking at the ropes. I'm not feeling very optimistic about the ropes.
He says, and like points, there's kind of a way out of this cavern dug. He'll take you, like he explains, he'll take you to the Mazeway caverns, and you're gonna basically be caving, but like he knows the way.
he definitely strikes me as an incredibly reliable guide, and we should trust him.
Definitely.
But Minerva wishes she had a knife too.
You
You
know,
do. All
Don't
startup
you-
Troika characters have a
Yeah.
knife.
You start
Oh my
with a
god,
knife,
I'm
you
so
got it.
excited about having a knife,
Yeah.
guys.
Here we do like I want to do like a cheers click, but with our knives. Like do like a click together as like a teammate. Yeah.
Yeah. Me
I'll-
laying on my back on the worm, I just reach back with the knife.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
get in on that, but I also have a small bathtub in my other hand that I clink in on it also too.
Of course.
Nice.
Knife friends. We're gonna get out of this well.
Oh yeah. You know, as long as the way out isn't into the worm, I think this is a good. I think that would not be my preferred exit. I was worried there'd be like an extra dimensional tunnel in the worm's mouth, and I hope that there's not.
No, he explains that the worms, are the sacred motion that it is to dance in the glorious bowels of the earth.
The dance of peristalsis in the bowels of the earth.
Hmm.
They'll yes, they'll twine. But the worm is no threat to you.
Well, that's good to know.
There's the Ogacha, he'll mention, which are, they're beetles, and he doesn't think that they're like very interesting. They don't seem to really mean much to him. There's Shrimple, which are, the delicious residents of the underground. And he's taking you to up, and there's people there.
And they can help us get out, not just up.
I mean, he's left before.
That's a good point. Okay, I'm down. Is the worm coming with us? I'm asking Tim.
The worm does as it wills. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Okay. Good. Okay. So is that going to be where we're going, or are you going to like keep hanging out here,
he's standing up and like, kind of like doing honorifics at the worm, like the way that you would at a sacred animal.
I'm trying to be polite about his religious preferences here.
Yeah, and then he does his kind of ritual greetings, and then like beckons you on into the yawning darkness of the caverns.
Okay.
I move my bathtub into a place that's a slightly like more offertory place for the worm, figuring like maybe this will bring us luck on our journey, or at least make Tim less likely to kill me in my sleep.
I will, since that's a devotion to a figure of a religion, I'll say that you can count yourself as having a pocket god if you do a hail wormy type thing at some point. That is
fantastic.
Nice.
You've offered something to something that like clearly someone worships. It's, it's like if you leave enough in a collection plate, like you're allowed to say a prayer and God maybe has to listen to you.
And so for people who may not be familiar with pocket gods, how does that work in Troika?
Oh yeah, sorry. So
you're fine.
Varying degrees of familiarity with Troika, pocket gods are basically a disposable way of regaining luck. They're sacrificable because Troika is very polytheistic and very, has mercantile religion. You can buy blessings that are disposable from various faiths. I don't think characters start with any other than some classes, but their main use is it's good to have the divine on your side, even if the divine requires some form of bribery or relationship in order to do things for you.
Yeah.
The very positive view of spirituality in all RPGs.
That's right.
What has God done for you lately?
Pincushion, sensing that we're about to get going, just heaves a sigh and just slides off the worm onto the ground, and then just like slowly gets up.
You find yourself when you slide to the ground, you find yourself face to face with a crab who like gestures to the bathtub. Like, do you need to be pulled along? Do you have the energy to come with us, or do you need to?
No, no, I'm good.
Okay, not really trusting you to be like. It looks like you're not good, but it's like okay.
No, I'm good.
I think he could use motivation. I think you know what to do, Crab.
Trike,
I do.
Trike a PvP. When the crab has to just sweep the confessional human down the hallway with a broom.
I do like a little sweep, 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 sweep.
Whoa, okay. Condition gets going.
Terrific.
All right. I'm gonna take a really quick break to have a cigarette, just because getting into first sort of like bit of travel.
Yeah.
I hope this has been good. I hope pacing's been okay. Obviously, if you want me to expedite things or make NPCs talk more as just more bullet pointy, like let me know and I'll try and bullet point it, because like I don't play a convincing person to some degree. I play me working off of a list with what is the best voice I can do. So I hope that Tim is at least an entertaining human being you have met.
I'm excited for our guide.
Yeah.
I'm having.
Nice, y'all. Y'all clearly understand what's going on down here. It's all about the
I was thinking we could just 100% try to speed run this. Like we've got somebody who knows like every third,
Yes.
tripwire to step over or whatever. But we'll take it easy. We'll play it straight. We are playing. So you've been thrown down a well right now. We're going to take just a short little 5-minute break and come back.
It'll be longer than 5 minutes just because I live on the 4th floor. of
We're
my
going to take a
building.
10-minute break and come back, and we'll be back when we're back. But we're going to aim for about 10 minutes from now. But feel free to take care of yourself during this break. Don't feel like you have to stay in the same spot. If you want to go outside and have a cigarette, you can. If you want to go outside and go for a short little jog, you can. Get some water. Go to the restroom. Take care of yourself wherever you're doing. Remember, if you are watching right now, by the way, for all of y'all can go ahead and do stuff. I'm going to vamp for like 3 or 4 minutes, and y'all are good. We're off screen, so now they know my secret, but you guys are welcome to scatter. We are going to be coming right back and playing some more of So You've Been Thrown in a Well actual play. If you have not yet, go ahead and type an exclamation point. I am down. You are absolutely welcome to do that in order to win a copy of Troika, and we will also be giving away a digital copy of So You've Been Thrown Down a Well. Also, just FYI, a couple things that we have coming up, if I can find them at all, which who knows, is this Friday. I'm going to be sitting down with my buddy, our Alex Murray, who appears here regularly on the screen, and we're going to be designing our first Troika supplement. It's going to be called the Academy of Divine Sublimation. Our goal is going to be to try to create some alchemy rules for Troika. You can come back and watch us do that live, or you can come back tomorrow and watch me talk with Fiona and Jarrett from the Moonrat Conspiracy about what it is like to do project management and other stuff like that for Troika, as well as other stuff. But we will be back in just one moment to continue to play some more So You've Been Thrown Down a Well. Did somebody raid us? Hello, raiders. You're right now looking at a graphic on a screen because we are on a short break. Who raided us? I mean, that's how Quinn, you're back. That's how raids work. You and I could just vamp while everybody's gone. We'll entertain the audience. Here we go.
Yeah. So no, I didn't have anything prepared.
It's me and Quinn. Oh, hey, Dice Drinks and Drama, our good friends over there. Vic and them we're playing. What were y'all playing tonight? Over on Dice Drinks and Drama. You hit the moat of graphics. Troika, it's Major tomorrow. It's our friend Vic. Hey, in case anyone was wondering, our pledge manager for Repugnant RPG, which Vic from Dice Drinks and Drama was on for our actual play for, is going live tomorrow morning. So if you didn't get in on pre-ordering backing the world's most disgusting RPG when it was live on Kickstarter called Repugnant, you can go to ttrpg.link/grossrpg. Check that out. But also, if you just arrived here as part of the raid, you should go ahead and hit follow and type in !, I'm down. I am down to get entered into a chance to win a copy of Troika or to win a copy of So You've Been Thrown Down a Well, which is a supplement/chat book for Troika that we are playing right now. But we're just on a little break. We're on a little bitty smoke break for our GM and fearless leader tonight, Fiona. But go ahead and type that in, get entered into a chance to win. We'd love to have you be a part of that. If you've never played Troika, it's a phenomenal game. We have made no actual rolls so far. We're just killing it with the RP, which is great. Actually, the goal Troika is technically OSR. The goal is actually to avoid rolling die in an OSR, in my opinion, whenever you don't have to. But we also have the designer on with us right now, Madeleine. So if you want to ask her questions about, the design, you can, even though you just showed up from another channel.
I think you'd have to interpret it through Tony because I don't see the chat.
Oh yeah, I would say them. You wouldn't just.
Okay.
Is there a good way for me to see the chat? I would love to see the chat.
If you want to engage in chat, you can. I actually don't encourage players to do so unless they are comfortable with it. You can go to twitch.tv/Tony+1.
Watch the stream.
Yeah, just watch the stream. That's the best way to do it. What were y'all playing tonight over on Dice Drinks and Drama? What was going on over there? Anyone? No one? Damn Fine Cup of Streaming is down. Geek Girl's down. Major Tomorrow's down. Madeleine, let's talk about another one of your books right now. You guys have Corpse Weight Cove right here.
Yep.
It's a Morkborg, or compatible with Morkborg.
Mm-hmm.
Which
how many boxes of that do we have upstairs? 24 boxes of that.
24
upstairs.
boxes, and there's just one copy in each box, so you need to go right now and order yours. No, so Madeleine, you do like you do the narrative and the art side of things, and then Natalie comes back in and makes sure the numbery math parts work right.
Yeah, and also she's incredible at layout, which in Corpse Weight Cove and in So You've Been Thrown Down a Well, layout was really critical. They both have a really weird layout, but that's kind of part of their aesthetic.
Yeah, I need to get my overhead, I need to get my document camera set up, but I want to give people, I posted some pictures of this online the other day and was very honest, I'm not getting the colors and things. It's a gorgeous book for anybody out there watching it now. If you haven't ever played Morkborg, it's a super deadly. Show
the Frankenshark.
What do you know? What page it is on? I actually love this. I love this.
Our map,
the map of the Corpse Weight Cove. Let's see.
Frankenshark is going to be further back. It's a 2-page spread.
It's a 2-page spread. Best spread in the thing. Soggy Pirate. Pirate Brute. I feel like I'm getting close.
Oh yeah.
Frankenshark. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. But is that up for pre-order right now? Is there a good place for them to look for that?
You can order that from our website or our itch store. What's the itch store?
Actually, there's
By emperornash.itch.io.
there's actually that link is right below Vi's face right now. And so if you want to do that, or if you type in !itch, it'll take you to so you've been thrown down a Wells page, and then you can link over from there also too. Because I got my chat bot working again, and so somebody says, "Is that heretic?"
Is what heretic?
Is what heretic?
I don't know.
I am a heretic, if that's what you were asking.
I'm not, but
I'm
okay with people who are. Whether you're a heretic is all a matter of which god you're talking about.
It's true. Anyway, thanks for joining us for our Troika stream. We'll be jumping over to Minecraft in just a couple of minutes.
I'm planning on building this big house full of lava.
Nice. Nice.
Good.
It's 11:11. I'm on my second seltzer of the evening and my third seltzer of the day. We're getting crazy. We're getting loose.
I'm down to jump over to Minecraft. Not.
Vi, some people were very excited when they saw you were on stream. For people who may not be familiar with your work, tell everybody about Collabs Without Permission and some of what you do over on your channel.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the big news right now. I like to I like to fill the niche in tabletop role playing games, which is putting too much effort into videos. To a fault sometimes. No, but it's like I like to make video reviews, analysis, kind of thoughtful writing pieces that tell you about a product, what it's like, and through the video itself, which is like its own medium with its own benefits and drawbacks, bring you into the world of the tabletop role playing game I'm talking about. My video most recently that everyone has seen now. So I released it just like a week or two back. It's about Mothership, and I went to the Bonneville Salt Flats here in Utah, and I filmed it as though I were an astronaut, and I had a section that was up inside of a spaceship, or what looked like one, and it was released 2 weeks ago. I've had the channel for like 2 years, and it is already my third most viewed video. So I feel like that's a good recommendation to say, like, if you want to see the best I can do, you should go watch that, because that's what I do. I feel like there's been a space for that, for like artsy critique and conversation around tabletop role playing games, and I'm happy to try providing that the best I can.
Yeah. When I was first starting up this channel, when I was looking around at who else was doing short form content, Vi was really the only other person who was out there who was doing the anything that was less than an actual play in short form, that was not a D&D listicle. Like that was like, and so absolutely love the work you do. The Mothership one was so good. Actually, I was going to slingshot that into a question, and then we'll get started again. So the whole thing was like setting versus lore was a big part of the conversation for Mothership, right? Talk about that in the context of Troika, setting versus lore. I want to hear that also. Maybe we'll come back to that at the end, since Fiona just got back. We'll actually start playing, but I would love to hear your thoughts on Troika, setting versus lore also too.
I feel like that is a ripe conversation.
I do too. So we can talk about that a little bit at the end. But yeah, go check out the video. I'll actually go dig it up. I'll pull a link into the chat for everybody who's watching right now. But also, if you haven't hit I'm down after an exclamation point to be able to get entered into a chance to win if you're over on Twitch watching us there. Good morning in Australia. We've got Keel Adam, who just joined us on the other side of the globe, who we're going to have on in a couple weeks for a conversation around visual design and a game called Elf Lord also too. So, but let's dive back into it.
All right. So Tim is guiding you through, like what we'll describe as, dark, cramped underground tunnels and caves, like you're actually caving. This is natural-ish rock formations. As a crab, one of you feels, at home, because like this is where you hide from larger things.
Yeah,
It's where you bring your tasty treats to eat them.
I get my claws against. I try to hold the broom and the knife in the single hand, holding them like parallel to the ground,
bring like little things into my mouth and spit them out if it's not food, but just like constantly like, what's down here?
I can hold your broom for you, little man.
I turn to you. I hand you the broom.
Yeah, all right. Like I didn't fucking think about this until just now. But you know that meme where it's the guy and he's like, "How you doing, little man?" That's my character. I'll post
Love
a. I won't post a link to it, but you can find it pretty easily. That's my guy.
Love it. I do have out my lantern because we all start with one of those also too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
was
do
gonna
have
ask.
the spell light, so I can cast that if we want to
I
try and
will-
not use oil.
I will mention in Troika Magic, the number in parentheses after your spell is how much stamina damage it does to you to cast it. So while light has many advantages, such as the fact that you're not stumbling in the dark looking for an answer.
Hands
You
free.
yeah. It's a little bit more of a decision than in the system where you like
I see.
just
It is not an ammo pouch
Stuff.
of magic.
yeah,
Yes. I see.
magic, magic's messing with the universe and the universe messes back.
Now that said, it takes stamina, but also eating provisions like restores
Yep.
stamina. So also like it's a numbers game. Like you're gonna gain and lose stamina throughout the course of the session.
How long does light last?
Let me
Just
check
a
the
metagame
book.
question. A metagame
Absolutely.
question: is casting light here a good idea? I'm just gonna ask that.
I mean, I'm fine
Yeah.
using my lantern also too because we all have one, and so you can always cast light. But we also have 3 more lanterns.
Maybe we should save the light. Okay.
It lasts 6 hours, so
That's
and
pretty
I
good.
will say it only costs you 1 stamina. I did just want to mention it before.
You killed
I
yourself
think-
by casting it on
Yeah,
repeat.
Yeah,
sure. I think
know-
I'm going to go for that.
Okay.
Well, then I won't.
I'll
Then I
keep
won't
my
use
hands free. I don't mind that.
so
yeah, exactly.
how you
If I can flavor this, here's a question. One of my stats is masochism.
always a good stat.
Great stat. Heavily relatable stat. And what I'm wondering is if I can flavor the casting of this spell in such a way that it causes me cosmetic harm, can I get something?
Yeah,
Or-
I'll
yeah?
say. How's this? Normally, what you would do to cast a spell is you'd roll a skill check. So you would roll 2d6 against your skill plus however many skill ranks you have in light.
Sure.
If you want to, since you have a skill in masochism, if you want to test that to, like tighten your character's the like confessional person, right?
Mhm.
Like you've got like probably some horrible thing to bind the secrets within you. If you want to slip into something a bit more uncomfortable and test if you've like done that in a way that makes you
Interesting.
really 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 more capable of doing magic, I'll say when you're rolling your magic skill test, roll 3 dice and take the best 2, like basically have advantage. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I'll get myself into some kink gear. Let's do it.
Yeah, just
This is getting too close
let's
to the
just do
lines.
that. We're yeah,
but
we'll say that this is,
yeah, sure. I think what it is, in my head initially, before you said the thing about like a piece of ware, I was just going to find like a sharp rock in the cave and just. But with that not being the case, I think what it is kind of some like a little metal frame that goes over the front of my arm like a bracer, but it's got like a little winch on it, and you tighten it a lot, and it just digs in, and it's very uncomfortable.
Smart.
It's-
Yeah,
Love it.
you Your hand is curved into the perfect wizarding shape, though, because as we all know, wizards gesticulate.
Yes, it's true.
Um,
All right, so roll 3d6.
Yep.
And take the best 2. No. Oh.
well, you're trying to run.
You're trying to roll
under your
low.
skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 4 and a 1.
Well, what is your skill?
4.
And so even if I assume you have at least one rank in light, you might have
I do.
more. So yeah, that's a 5. You succeed.
Yeah,
You
so-
have
So Quinn, for any of your skill rolls, you're going to add your base skill amount, that
Right.
D3 plus to the advanced skill number, and that's your total number.
So yeah, you have created an ethereal gob of light. In your twisted
Ethereal
hand, there's like a floating, however you want to flavor it, you've got
Totally.
kind of like a light ball.
I think so. How about just because we can, we want to come up with fun things. I think instead of a ball, just what it is it's kind of like it is light completely without a source. Like there is somewhere above us where light should be coming from based on how things are lit, but you don't see it. It's just light.
Yeah, it's the confessor's sort of like light
Yeah.
spell, so that people know that they're
Also-
always being watched.
Ethereal Gob, great Twitter handle. You can steal it.
You
Pretty
could.
good.
There's maybe someone with that Twitter handle, but maybe you can buy it off them. Who knows?
I wrote it down
Um,
as a potion idea for our design session on Friday. So
Nice. What do we see as we're continuing
Nice.
down this tunnel here?
Yeah, I'm so ready to
that's-
fight something. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yes. So what's gonna happen is you've got a guide. So you're each gonna roll a d6 to kind of show where you wind up. So if we want to do this, let's say going clockwise, like it's a Brady Bunch, Tony, Quim, Madeline, B. Is that good with y'all?
Yep.
So Tony, let's see what you wind up with. Can
I
you
got
give me
a
a D6?
3.
All right. So, you're kind of going down, and this passage, like some of these passages are flooded. There's stagnant water. The crab, just opens its mouth, scoops through the water, and there's just kind of like water and algae streaming out. It's pretty gross, but, they're crabs.
It's a nature documentary.
Yeah. But like you come into like a mushroom forest with like flowering mushrooms and albino honeybees. There's like a slight, hum. There's these pale bees. There's, these floral mushrooms. Tim's like leading you through it. Is there anything that you want to do? Investigate, or are you not here for sightseeing? You're here for worm finding.
I mean, I'm here for getting back out and doing what I did again. And so
We'll reform you in this pit. I will get out of this pit to commit a crime again. What are
apparently,
you?
apparently
very
falling's a
Tim of
good
you.
thing according to Tim, and so I'm all about it. And so you said what? Tell me about with your giant mushrooms.
Yeah, there's like flowering mushrooms.
Yeah,
So,
I do
like,
want to.
the
I do want to check that
trumpets.
out. I want to check that
Yeah.
out.
So, does your character know anything about mushrooms?
Absolutely not.
So that's always great.
I've
Well-
got gastronomy. Would I know the degree of how edible these mushrooms might be?
How
Just
about
like
you
just
roll
warn
me
my
a
friend. I
gastronomy check?
hold up a claw and then I scuttle forward and do like a little 360 of the mushroom.
Yeah. Roll me
Let's
a-
see. Oh, that's not good. That is a 10 total. My skill is 4 and my gastronomy is 1. So
well,
I think not. Or rather, I think yes. I think these are probably fine
yeah,
mushrooms.
they're definitely edible to you. You're a superior being, a crab.
That's what I'm working off of.
Brings
I'm
you closer to claw.
just gonna break some mushroom off and stick it in my bag.
I
You
was
have-
sure you were going to say mouth, and I was like, do it.
Do it. I wish I had a copy of Fungi of the Far Realms here, because then I could randomly roll on
Such
it.
a good.
But it's a good book. We'll say that you have a mystery mushroom, and you'll roll a luck check when you take it, and we'll see what happens.
God, those are the best kind of mushrooms, aren't they?
Good.
Yeah, I'll just go get a table from a completely different game, and that'll be what happens to you.
That's great.
It's always good when you just use tables from the wrong game, adds mechanics you didn't know that you had to go figure out.
I also am, if I see a possible source of honey, I am going to be into that. But if we don't see a possible source of honey, then I'm not going to go looking for it.
You don't see like obvious hives. There's just kind of these albino honeybees, flirting about. Like they seem like they maybe burrow. You're kind of
ground honey, eh? So
not
On the other
always
hand, if you
honey.
eat the mushrooms, oh, true. If you eat the mushrooms, you might end up with a different sort of hives.
But don't. Shh.
But dumped indeed.
aren't you
Next
the
up,
one who wanted to
something
kick
else.
me out of earlier? We're all ashamed of the other people's choices, never our own.
We're all ashamed of everyone else's puns. Our puns are brilliant.
Our puns are genius.
Yeah, obviously.
And so, no, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Your Lex has gathered some mushrooms. The crab has investigated some mushrooms and the way that crab investigates them, which I assume your gastronomy check is just nibbling on it. Like, it's
For
edible
sure.
to you.
Good.
You'll eat basically anything though. Like, I assume that your iron rations are just like, some expired livestock you like grabbed on your way out or something.
Yes, good. I do have a skill that is eat garbage. So
Eat trash, be free.
yeah.
It is.
So the first garbage I see, you know what I'm doing.
Oh, it's a very valuable skill.
Yeah, I mean, not enough dungeons contain garbage.
If only there was a game where the entire world was made of garbage. You can go to ttrpg.link /grossrpg to check that out.
Man, it's smooth. I don't think Pincushion is doing anything interesting. He's just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah,
Like,
so
eh,
you
he's
can.
got he's got no stakes.
Tim's definitely waving you ahead. He's like, yes, there's mushrooms. It'll all be very much less impressive when you get to up. And if you'd like to roll while following him, you will follow him into the dark and he will lead you somewhere new.
Well, let's fucking go.
I've never heard anybody call it the up before. I say to
You-
Minerva.
Sounds like a proper noun.
It does sound like a proper name.
Yeah, like a capital up.
Yeah.
Is
It
this
is the capital settlement underground.
Mm.
The blessed
Okay.
place.
So, I mean, Tim, you don't strike me really as much of a, I mean, no offense, much of a philosopher, but do you have any idea on why it might be called up? That seems intentionally confusing.
Well, there's nowhere to go but up.
You know what? Fair. Absolutely fair.
Fair.
I actually, now that I think about it, remembering Tim, I think there is something that interests Pincushion, which is Tim. Pincushion is their kind of job in life has to been a confessorial for a group of sky pirates. So we've got ourselves a criminal here who's clearly having a grand old time, and I think Pincushion is going to be like, got anything you want to say?
Well, I know many things. Did you know that the average human produces 6 cups of mucus a day?
No, it's a pretty fun fact there, Tim.
Your moistness is noted.
All right. I think that was all the RP I needed.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
Major
I don't think I
Tomorrow
can
does
top
want to
that
know
in
if
this
it's if
game.
that's actually factual because they feel like 6 is far too low of a number.
6 is
I'm going off
accurate.
the bullet
I don't
list.
put lies in my games.
Yeah, I'm going off a list of things Tim knows and things that I know. And Tim knows.
I like the idea that in this adventure, there's a list of things Tim knows. If the players ask Tim about anything, he will roll on this table of things Tim knows.
There are, and it's excellent.
Well, there actually is a list. Things he knows and will share. I think he's supposed to be a little bit more withholding, but I tend to play NPCs as chatty Cathy's. This is a fault of the GM, not the designer.
He was supposed to be holding that mucus thing a little closer to the chest. I understand.
Yeah, it's something he
His
likes to keep on the.
wetness
He likes
is
to keep it on the
something
inside.
special.
God.
I'm sorry. I will make the worst puns, and I'm sorry this is an after dark stream.
We're all
Please
having a good time.
don't have young children ever listen to me run games. Please.
All those RPG parents in Australia right now who put this on for breakfast viewing are just
Yeah,
They're-
they're spreading the Vegemite for their small ones, or what the
Mhm.
younglings, I think the Australians call them.
Waving at the koalas outside their window.
Right.
Where's my RPG about being an Australian?
harnessing their spiders to pull their cars to work.
Quinn, just for you, I'm
Yeah.
writing down Fantasy Australia.
No, not fantasy Australia, real Australia.
I mean,
Real
Riff
Australia
has
is
an
already
Australia book.
fantasy enough.
That's true.
Riffs has an Australia book. I'm sure it's Riffs. Anyway, yeah, Tim will lead you on. If you'd like to roll a d6 to see where he takes you.
Quinn, I think it's you this time.
Yep.
Roll a d6.
Oh, it's me.
Yes, sorry.
It's you, Quinn.
It's me. I'm Quinn. I got a 1.
Yeah, so you step. I mean, it's never truly dark because you're always in the light of the gaze of those above, and you crawl through some waist deep water. There's some more like bits where you kind of are like inching in like a gap and have to like. For you, it's a bit easier. For the crab, it's a little bit more like modern art. But you're getting through and you come to this room of like a waterfall and fluorescent mushrooms. There's kind of like a rainbow dappled look to it. Like if you lived in an era with phones, you'd probably want to take a selfie here to be like, I've seen the nicest place in the underground.
Top 1 places to see in the underground.
I think this place is absolutely beautiful. I feel moved in my poetic heart, and I would like to have a short oboe solo while I'm here.
Oh.
I keep an oboe with me at all times.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Y'all are seeing the softer side of Minerva.
Does Minerva play it like a typical oboe player, or do the snakes
No,
push
she
the
plays
keys?
it like a flute. She plays it like a flute. Yeah,
I like to think that the snakes help with the
absolutely.
good.
They're helping.
Oh,
As
that's cool.
only a Gorgon she can play an oboe.
Yes. Clacking applause as
Beautiful.
usual.
I
Yeah,
She
see.
wipes away a little tear that she's too brave to acknowledge.
I think the beauty of the influencer cave is too much. and Pincushion will sink within his robes.
Yeah, there's like a little waterfall. It's pretty nice.
And did you
Is
say
there
there
anything,
were phosphorescent mushrooms in here?
Mhm.
I'm gonna grab one of those also too.
Good. Yes.
We're making a mushroom soup after this. We're
I mean,
making a
yeah.
stew. This is gonna be good.
We're not gonna know
Nice.
which one did what to us, but we're gonna have a lot of things happen.
Taste
Mhm.
every inch of the down below.
Um.
Sorry.
No, it's great.
So I want to check out that waterfall. I just want to like whether it's just like a quick rinse from all of that standing water, or seeing if there's something. I want to see if there's something like behind the waterfall. I'm thinking classic crab tales of
You've
adventure.
played way too many video games.
Yeah,
So
like
many crab video games.
It's the
you
crab
stand-
tales.
You stand under like a spigot of
Woo.
cold. Well, I don't think crabs have much temperature sense. I don't know. There's flowing water. There's not like a secret cave full of food or, a defensible place to hide. And I don't know what crabs do other than eat, really.
I'm
Have crab
uninterested then.
thoughts.
Yeah, crab thoughts. Crab thoughts? No food?
Hmm.
Just water. Not
There's-
not happy yet, I say.
There's some fluorescent mushrooms. You could probably eat those like you're a crab.
In their review of thermal behavior of crustaceans, Lagerspetz and Vainio, 2006, indicated that crustaceans seem to detect fine temperature variations and that thermosensitivity is mediated by the peripheral nervous system. Add
Well,
that to
that
the
makes
list of facts
sense.
Tim knows.
Yeah, Tim is impressed with your knowledge of crabs, but like he would like to point out that like crabs are not worms.
Hmm.
Crabs are not
God,
worms.
another sage observation by Tim today.
I
So
couldn't have said it better myself, and honestly, I would never try.
so I
Tim finds your lack of faith disturbing.
can we see the bottom of the waterfall?
Yeah, I mean, like you're kind of in a standing pool. Like this isn't, to be clear, in terms of like scale, you're in like a cave that's probably like 200, 300 square feet. There's like a big, like probably at the center, like fall of water into it. There's like phosphorescent mushrooms growing up, on the walls. There's kind of this rainbow dappling. Tim's gesturing towards like this bit where like, you can kind of crawl deep into, continuing on into the dark. And this is kind of just like a resting place where he's doing some yoga stretches. Tim seems pretty familiar with the underground.
Tim,
You think if it wasn't for him leading, you would probably be crashing around in the
yeah,
dark a
that
lot.
seems likely.
Oh, Tim's got so much knowledge, not only of this place, but of people.
Worms?
Tim
Oh.
Tim does accept your
Mucus.
title of guru. He thinks that, it's a word others use for him, but some have dared to call him such a thing.
It's
I
him-
scuttle off toward him and the exit. We've got a glowy mushroom. I'm if I want to try it, like I think we got one.
Well, you've given away the broom, so I guess you're just holding your glowing mushroom, taking bites off of it like it's a shawarma.
I just like deftly, like with confusing dexterity, just like carve bits off of it, and it makes you think that maybe this crab has seen a lot of kitchen like chefs in a kitchen like preparing food, just like a nice like spooning out the ribs of a mushroom, because you're supposed to do that,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Yeah,
it's great. It's
I love
impressive.
that. I can see it.
Yeah, you're all very impressed with this crab's knife work.
I'm always impressed with this crab.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It survived like what, 1 billion meter fall. So
It's true.
Crabs.
This crab's
Crabs,
got
right?
moxie.
But well, yeah, we it sounds like we're all headed towards the next section.
As a resident
Sure.
of New England, I'm required to mention that Moxie is not garbage. It's really good soda, and that clearly a crab would love to eat the
Did somebody say
combination of.
Moxie was garbage? Moxie's the fucking bomb.
Oh, I hate Moxie.
Fiona.
Cheerwine.
Psych.
I'm not gonna say
Cheerwine is
Cheerwine's
good.
not good because it's good, but
If you
I'm a
didn't grow
little-
up drinking
I'm a
it,
little-
it tastes
I'm a
like
little-
root beer mixed with cola. Like it just tastes weird. If I'd grown up like it's like tamarind soda. If I'd grown up drinking it, I'm sure I'd like it, but I didn't. So like I don't like soda that's salty and sour. I just don't my perceptual schema of what soda is too limited to accept the glory of Moxie.
No, I understand.
We'll have to get into some deep birch beer conversations in a bit.
Birch beer is great.
I'm so down.
Anyway, pluck, moxie, charisma, nerve, talent, all the things that a crab can be. You scuttle into the hole with Tim, followed by the rest of the party, I guess.
I'm absolutely in there.
Yep.
All right.
Anything to get out of the influencer cave.
Yeah.
I added a
Place
mystery
always
glowy mushroom to my inventory also too.
Absolutely. Madeline, if you'd roll, we'll see where you wind up next as you crawl through the darkness.
I got a 2.
All right. You're crawling and kind of like if you've been in one of those like plastic tubes, like you're kind of going through like a solid cut tube, but like you realize you're going through diamond. Like
Oh gosh.
you're, like I don't know how valuable you're. I don't think crabs think diamonds are valuable at all.
Can't eat, no luck. No.
No, it's just carbon. Not the good carbon.
I was
Like
joking about us playing Minecraft, but if that's where this is going,
we hit diamonds.
What about a diamond?
We did it, boys!
But how would the crab feel about a
Exactly.
diamond knife? That's the question.
There we go.
That would be so much better.
I'm listening. I've got my eyes keenly on pincushion.
I mean, do any of you have a pick?
No, but I do have really good fists. Can I punch the diamond?
I mean, I wanted to yell "Diamond is unbreakable," but like my housemate would like to sleep, so I should try not to scream.
I've got 3 to fist fighting.
If you want to punch the wall, I will say you can get like a bag's worth of diamond fragments if you succeed at a skill check.
I'm absolutely gonna try. Okay. Now remember, I don't know how to use dice, so tell me what I need to roll.
You're gonna roll 2d6, and
Okay.
you're gonna take your 3 fist fighting and whatever your skill is, and
Okay.
add those 2 together, and you're trying to roll under that number.
Okay.
Let's go.
The rolls.
Oh, I got very high. I was not successful.
So
So
diamond is
I
unbreakable.
rolled 10,
Oof.
which is very high. That is not good.
I mean,
And the
there's not
3 in
degrees of
fist fighting
failure.
plus skill. It is a failure, I think.
So you punch the wall, and like if you see, like your knuckles are tough as hell. Like
Yeah.
you punch diamond. Diamonds are hard as hell. You don't make any diamonds out of it, but like you feel tough as hell. Like everyone sees you punching a diamond wall.
At least I got some of my aggression out. I'm sorry, crab friend. I tried.
I turn toward.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tony.
No, you got it.
I turn toward you and turning my claw into a clear imitation of a bird beak. I do a little like bird talking to like remind you like, yes, you're on the road. This is good progress on the road to revenge against your bird
I'm
archenemy.
baffled by your pantomime, but heartened by it all the same.
You will defeat Ludwig Wittgenstein, but it just is clack, 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 clack,
Yep.
clack, clack.
I would like to like seeing this attempt and seeing the desire by the crab to uplift Minerva's spirits. Like I dig into my satchel, and you hear all this like metal clang. And it's a big bag. You hear all this metal clanging around, and I pull out a I'm going to call it a medium-sized claw-footed bathtub, because one of the things I have with me is as many bathtubs as I have crowns, and I left one of them behind. It was the biggest one. I have 8 of those. So it's a medium-sized claw-footed bathtub. And I would like to slam it into the wall where Minerva punched it with all of my strength.
Yes.
Yeah, do you have this ability strength or bathtub fighting? Or
I do not have bathtub
Bathtub
fighting. I do
fighting.
have strength. It is my number 1 skill for hauling around all these bathtubs. Well, I rolled very high also, but I did roll underneath my strength. So I rolled an 8. but I have a strength and skill total combined of 10, and so
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, there's like a deafening clang because you are in like a tube hallway and someone just smashed I don't know what smashing a diamond wall in a tube under the earth with a bathtub sounds like, but I imagine if you have ears, it's not pleasant. I
It's
don't really
probably
know.
loud. Yeah.
I don't know
Crab
how
is safe.
crabs hear, but
It's always me y'all are worried about. I'm worried about all you. I'm wondering if anything has heard this sound. I look up and down this echoey tunnel.
yeah, but you do have one inventory slot of diamonds. You know, they're
Diamond.
uncut stones.
I pull out the
But-
sharpest, stabbiest one and like toss it towards the crab.
Good. Beautiful.
Yeah, you have a diamond shiv.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm very
Diamond
excited.
shiv.
I'm going
You've
to
leveled up.
Yeah, it
I'm
makes
gonna-
the Mario mushroom noise when you grab it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Which is funny because none of the mushrooms we've grabbed have done that, but this diamond
No,
did.
yeah.
So.
It's Troika. Everything's wacky.
I think I'm next up. I think I'm next up on the D6, unless there's something
Nope.
that has heard this commotion.
No, Tib's looking at you like the bathtub.
I was really impressed with the bathtub. I had no idea what was in that sack. So I have to say, you're far more impressive than I thought you were. I mean, that's not to say that I thought that you weren't impressive, but I didn't. And now I think, you can kill me with a bathtub if you wanted. So thanks for not doing that.
Yeah. I probably won't.
Good.
I won't on
Good.
purpose.
Wow, this has really made me feel confident.
Well, do you remember when we were
My
like plummeting
adventuring
down?
friend.
When you remember we were like plummeting down the hole at the beginning of all this? Do you remember that? Like,
Mhm, mhm.
I was in a giant bathtub, and I think, like, if you had been in front of me, there would have been a chance I would have killed you with a bathtub.
That's true.
That wouldn't have been on purpose.
Oh, okay. Well, intent is everything, right?
Absolutely everything. That is the extent of our moral calculus. You, as a philosopher, know this.
Of course.
But no, after as we have this conversation as we follow Tim into the next section.
Yes, we do.
I rolled another one.
So nice thing is it's not the same place, you're sure, but like it's a different kind of bully depression that you come into, but like there's the same fluorescent mushrooms, there's the same waterfall. Tim's like, yes, we've seen it, and is like skittering along, but it's pleasant. You've managed to not encounter anything that tries to murder you.
Beautiful.
Here we go. I feel like that's a success then.
Yeah.
So Tim, are we getting close to up?
Yes, you are. In fact, you.
This is pincushion. This is my costume.
I see. Well, at least he's comfortable, huh?
He's
I
not.
love Vi's pause there when Quinn was like, "This is my costume." Was like, "Oh, well, I'm not wearing a costume."
I wanted to join in the fun, but I don't have a cloak on. I'm a crab.
It's true.
I mean, you can put a cloak on a crab if you try hard and believe in yourself.
I want to figure out by the end of this adventure. My secondary goal is figuring out if Lex has a crab-sized bathtub.
I've been wondering that this whole game. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, I'm sure if Lex survives to get to the surface, the crabfoot tub will become an innovation that few will deny.
Ooh.
It's a bathtub
Good.
you can never tip over.
Because it
Anyway,
defends
I-
itself.
Yeah.
I got the cloak because if we're going through another influencer cave, I wanted to be able to demonstrate what pincushion does. And you just
Perfect.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah, I grab another glowy mushroom.
Yeah, you've got 3 mushrooms, and you're coming. There's sort of a path that like Tim eschews quickly, and you're heading into a cavern, and you can see ahead sort of the. Let me go get a description.
Coconut malt glaze.
I didn't know these caverns came with elevator music.
I mean, your GM comes with elevator music.
We could
It's
be
one of those
listening
things she can hum.
to the Crystal Caverns theme right now.
Right?
Man.
It's
Um,
so pretty.
yeah, you're coming to like a sort of palisade gate. There's some intentionally planted looking mushrooms that are glowing near it. And there's 2 guards who are bored looking, like they're leaning on they're like straightening up and doing the yeah, I was keeping watch. Who? Oh, Tim. And Tim waves and runs over to the guard, and they're having a little sidebar. Tim is just an animated, excited dude about this. Who he quickly comes back and says, "Yes, it's the sacred eve of Wormtide. You may enter the city of Up, but we will need you to respect the customs and wear a worm mantle
Oh, what's a worm mantle?
to better emulate the perfect form of a worm. It's basically like a corset for your shoulders that keeps you from putting your arms up. Like it just kind of restricts your movement a little bit. Like you kind of are doing the robot arms, but like without a full range of motion on your shoulders, T-Rex in it.
How can I punch things if I don't have my arms?
Why would you need to punch anyone within the city limits? The guards will even spare you
Okay.
worm-tied cloaks.
Okay, that's a reasonable point. I mean, okay, one of our party members is a crab. How are you going to put a worm mantle on a crab?
Um, he'll talk to the high priest. He needs to talk to the high priest about getting you through the city of Up. But like, it's Wormtide. You'll just spend the night. They don't have an inn, but they'll put you up. Don't worry about it.
As long as they don't throw us down their well.
Oh gosh,
do
wellception.
not have a well to throw you down.
Good. Thank goodness.
We don't throw people down wells.
I'm gonna write that Troika supplement. This Troika supplement is designed to be played inside of. So you've been thrown down a well. It's called. So you've been thrown down a well again.
Again, exactly.
So you've been thrown up a well.
So you've been thrown up a well.
So you've been thrown strange a well.
We got to figure out. We got to figure out how to incorporate 2 in a really clever capacity. So you've been thrown down a well. Too well to no.
Well, too furious.
Too well, too furious. Too well, too salubrious. Too well.
Too bad.
Too bad.
I like that one best. Too well.
We'll workshop it some more. If you got Chad, if you have any recommendations, let us know.
Please.
Yeah. In regards to the arm thing, this is Pincushion's just fine with it. He's like, oh,
yeah,
finally a place where this is expected.
Yeah, Tim excitedly helps you adopt the more worm-like and perfect form of having less than full use of your arms.
I mean,
you seem acquainted with the worm-like ways.
How am I going to hold my bathtub bag? That's the real question.
Oh, if it's got shoulder straps, you'll be fine. Like, you'll just tighten your shoulder straps. It'll ride a bit high on your back, but like you're relaxing. There's a festival tomorrow.
Okay. Minerva will agree to wearing the worm mantle, but does she at least get to keep like her other items, like weapons and stuff?
Yeah,
that's fine.
They're not confiscating your stuff.
Yeah,
like,
what are you gonna do with it with your arms like that?
And,
I
and,
don't know. I mean,
and I just need to know.
stuff.
I just need to know canonically. Do these hold our arms down like this, or do these hold our arms up like
Yeah.
this?
I've been
That's a
trying
So
lot
we can
funnier.
articulate the worm head.
I mean, hands in the air like you just don't care is clearly funnier, but I think because you are able to eat, like your arms are pinned like this because you just T-Rex arm everything.
Hands by the side because you care very much.
Well, while Tim can't talk to the high priest about getting you through the town, it is an important theological matter to figure out how to make a crab more worm-like, which he will get back to you about.
I
but
hope so.
He's
Okay,
gonna take
okay.
you to he's gonna take you to the house of Bindle and Yoke. You know, that then you'll get on your way, you know, like
All right.
Come
All
on.
right.
yeah.
Can we know
Um,
how? I mean, if Wormtide is tomorrow, like, what should we? Are we expected to participate somehow, or?
Oh, you're not, you know, like everybody it's a small town festival. You know.
Okay. So it'll be fine if we just kind of like, yay worm, and then like get out. That'll be fine.
Yeah, they're not unreasonable people. Like, you know, it's their thing, but like, you know, they're just not gonna like make someone on like a holiday open a gate to let you go to the surface, because that's like, you know.
Oh, it's like postal workers. It's like they've got it off.
It's a state holiday. I'm sorry.
Can't open the
Yeah.
gate. Okay, this
Also,
checks
real
out.
Real quick. It is an important theological question to figure out how to make the crab more worm-like. I think it is a more important practical question to figure out how you can make this crab do anything it doesn't want to do.
I mean, we gave it a better knife.
It's made of diamonds.
What have you done?
I will point out that like probably a diamond shiv is a knife that rolls damage with disadvantage, but in my heart it rolls with advantage.
That's what
appreciate-
matters. People in the chat also do want to know if the snakes have to wear worm costumes also.
Oh, but
The
they're
snakes are-
already worm-like.
Yeah. Like really,
They're very
like
good.
your parts of you have achieved apotheosis. Like truly, some of you is perfect. They like
And that's
actually
more than
prefer
most of us
addressing your
can say,
snakes.
right? So
Very impressive.
You get that kind of sense of when, like, you know how someone's talking to you but really doesn't want to, how they're kind of always looking a little bit over your shoulder. It's that, but to your hair. Like they're like, we'll address the higher being, the snake hair.
yeah, eyes down here.
I'm a person too.
Look, I'm 100% down for this festival as long as I get a chance to take a bath beforehand. I'm 100% on board.
Yeah, probably Bindle and Yoke like won't let you take a bath like, you know, in front of them, but like they've got a house and they've got a private room. You can take a bath in their house.
Well, it's really nice for
I'm
them
fine
to put
either
us up
way.
for the night.
I bed down for the night and turn out my night light by eating the glowing mushroom to turn off the night light.
So it's early evening, but
Oh, it's not. Oh, damn.
you're being paid, you know, like basically you're so the cavern above is lit by brightly by regularly spaced multi-domed mushrooms in whites, blues, and greens. The structures are packed earth, stacked on top of each other at strange angles with near vertical paths leading down to the primary byways. The streets are thronged by townsfolk who sing cheerful ceremonial songs while they work to decorate the streets for the coming Wormtide, as well as they can while wearing their traditional Wormtide garb, which really limits arm movement.
They really should have done this yesterday.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah.
I do.
And,
Tradition.
I do love how you just pulled that just out of your head also too. Like just off the top of your dome, we're able to just whip all that out. It was very impressive, Fiona.
oh no, I switched tabs to the PDF and read.
I was joking.
But you know, top of the morning to you, topsiders. You know, like everyone seems pretty jazzed you're here. They're pretty excitedly putting up like worm streamers, little like worm lanterns, you know, like they're making this like a wormy good time, you know. Tim is happily leading you, being like, yes, I have brought the topsiders. And you know, you get to Bindle and Yoke's house. You know, where you're welcomed by like Yoke, Bindle, and Marifu, who are getting ready to have a traditional worm-tide dinner and are, you know, making some more food. But like you're welcome into their living room, and Tim is gonna go and talk about like what we're supposed to do with a crab. Like maybe they'll get some rubber bands for the like claws.
I will not be crab bucketed. How dare you?
Yeah.
I wanna figure out as like as a what's it called? As a concession, as like meeting them halfway. I want to see if I'm welcome into the kitchen as a cooking crab myself. Maybe I could help in other ways besides being more. I'm more of the school of thought of carcinization anyway. So, speaking of perfect beings, you know,
they're doing like a lobster bake, but with a shrimple. So like it maybe is a kitchen situation involving a lot of boiling water.
Good. I was excited for the shrimples.
Yeah, like it's a big old shrimp. Like, you know,
Shrimp.
Yeah, like you have got shrimp. Let me go see.
I do feel like Vi this entire time has been just hoping to recreate the Little Mermaid Sebastian in the kitchen scene.
Yes.
And that's what all of this has been working towards. Like all of a sudden a French accent appears, knives are thrown.
It's really it's gonna be in reverse. I'm the chef now. I will throw the knives at you.
Look at me. I'm the chef now.
Yeah, like Yoke and Bindle are in the kitchen. Marifu is pointedly sitting at like their dining room table and like not helping. And the crab is going to the kitchen to help Yoke and Bindle. What would the rest of you like to do?
Can I sit down next to Marifu? Is that their name?
I'm bad at pronouncing names. It's
Mary Few.
Mary Few. Thank you.
Yep.
Mary Few. I'd like to sit down next to them. I'm just gonna be like, hey, thanks. Yeah, you wanna, I don't know, like confess anything? Like it's really nice of you to put us up. Like, you know, if you want to get anything off your chest, you know.
You know,
Can I make a pitch on how this is happening also? Can I change the scene a little bit?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have taken my my bag, and for the first time y'all see me pull out cascading sizes of bathtubs out of this bag,
Glorious.
most of which are like medium size, easy for a person to get in, like crouch down in, have filled with warm water and be decently comfortable. And I like the idea that I have set these down in the room, and that it's just like chill. Like it's not like, I mean, like no one's nude. It's just like, you know, breach cloth, relaxing baths, like bathhouse style stuff. And then you just like ease down into the hot water next to Mary Few. Have anything.
I like the idea that you're still in all of your robes. That like,
Oh, yeah.
like modesty demands that I wear all of this like stifling clothing.
It's not modesty. It's that it's gonna be uncomfortable when I'm in the water, and then when I get out of the water and I have all of these wet robes on and it like gets cold, that's also gonna be uncomfortable. Like this character's whole thing is just penitence.
Yeah, I forgot. Flagellant.
He's just vibing. So yeah, but yeah, no, that's exactly it. Full
Yeah,
robes, full everything, just sink into the water, and it is nice.
Like they were about to pour the hot water in this one to warm up the cold water, and you were like,
Yeah.
no.
No.
I gotta
Um,
be honest though, I'm really glad the crab isn't in here because I feel like that's gonna bring back some really dramatic
Yeah.
experiences and negative connotations for a crab.
Yeah, instead the crab is in the kitchen boiling, like like a big old trough full of shrimple.
Other
Oh, yeah, I am.
crustaceans, yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think that
like,
maybe if I'm in a cold bath, there's also like a small modification where I'm like my teeth are chattering a little bit. It's like, you wanna confess anything or
yeah, Maryfew looks like if you've met someone where like they're just stern and very serious, like that is kind of her vibe. Like this is someone who is not here to party. She's not really here for anyone's bullshit. Um, and she just looks pretty unhappy and kind of like pointedly in a way that feels less like she's addressing you and more is, addressing Yoke and Bindle, is like, you know, Trimble are people. Like, they have thoughts.
Okay, like actual people, like the crab people, or
Some belowers think that they're their own culture. Just the
okay.
worm,
oh.
you know, uh, says it's okay.
I mean,
That's a pretty good sin, man. Yeah. Yeah.
I love the
so I
idea
guess
of the stern woman in the steaming bathtub while you're sitting there chattering.
yeah.
Oh, also, there's like the smell of your robes, which have been dredged through like stagnant water inside a cave and a bunch of mushroom rooms and like whatnot, like just fissioning filth into this cold water.
But is there at least like the delectable shrimpy smells coming from the kitchen yet?
Yeah, like, I mean, Marafufu seems kind of freaked out by it, but like, as many people learn when they're set on fire, it smells a lot like bacon cooking, and there's a couple
Ugh.
seconds where you think I smell delicious.
Hmm.
So have you had to have this like lots? Like, does this happen every year?
Yeah, this is a yearly holiday. This is how people celebrate
And
things.
they murder people every year?
They don't think they're people.
Hold on, I got a
Like
little.
Yoke and Bindle like both seem like resigned but uncomfortable at the things she's saying.
Mm.
It's kind of like if you've had like Thanksgiving with a vegan family member,
Oh
where
yeah,
there's
yeah,
just like a
exactly.
relative that just does not want to hear it,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
there's someone
And they like
who
look at you
has
while you
newly
take a
become a
big bite of
vegan and
delicious
is
meat.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Listen, I
it's
got
it's
something. I got
it's one of
something.
those.
I think I can do for you. So like you're feeling kind of, like sinful about this, yeah? Like you,
It's
Brenda, all
not
you
a
guys
sin
know,
to be an
you
empathetic
people.
person.
It's not great. No. Yeah. But like they're gonna eat it. It's not gonna be like, morals. But listen, I I got a whip, and I can just do some flagellations and take care of all that sin for you. You know,
Um,
like if you
I'm
don't feel great about it, hey, I can just handle that. I can,
I'm I'm
at least
not
I can do.
participating
You know.
in this barbarity. This is their problem. Um,
Mm,
you know, uh, Yoke is kind of for Hugh the Crab. Yoke is kind of like a nerdy, nebbish type who seems very conflict avoidant. Like is doing the thing of like, how like sometimes if people are yelling, there's someone who just very pointedly goes about what they're doing. Like if you see like an argument at a bank, and there's just like the person who's like using the ATM and is like, nope, none of this is happening.
This isn't
Like,
my problem.
yeah, but like he's quietly crying, and there is just the faint, delectable like taste of cabbage to the air around him. Um, to you, right? Like, Cabot, yeah. Whereas Bindle, who is like, kind of trying to put like an awkward hand on like, Yoke's shoulder and it's just doing a like, it's okay. It's tradition. It's okay.
Look, I can do
She's-
some flatulations for you guys. It's really no sweat.
You know what
It's
I find?
tradition.
You know what I find takes all the stress of a long day or the boiling of sentient species away? A bath. Like just relax. And I wanna intentionally use my impressive bathing technique to encourage everybody to just relax down into their bath.
I like that, like, there's a debate about whether or not, like, this is, a moral act on par with cannibalism going on that clearly these three people have had, like, multiple times. And you're like, hey, y'all, have you seen the bathhouse episode of an anime?
That's where we're at right now.
Just throwing it out here right now.
And one of my other advanced skills is bathe. So I demonstrate like with my impressive bathing technique. They can just see how deeply I am relaxing and how all of my worries are seeming to drift away. I rolled a 4 out of 8 on my bathe check.
So you successfully those like PSAs about like how you're supposed to like clean your nails properly that like were popular in film strips of the 50s. You're like that. Like you are squeaky clean. Like there's the soft focus filter on you now. You're so clean.
But like I'm also like instructing them like and like this is how you do the nails. Like I'm just like I've decided we're gonna move on from this. Like if we need our hands to be clean of this, then our hands should be clean. And so that's what's happening right now. Like I'm taking the exact opposite route of Penn, who's like, you know what? Yeah, you should be worried about this. Let me hurt myself for you. Or you know what? Like cleanliness.
I got you.
There's
I think
several different tacks to this argument, and I support all of them.
Yeah, there's several different tacks. I've got them all. I'll push them into my thumbs if you want. Let's go.
That was, I think we may have hit a veil there. For 5.
No, it's laughter. It's laughter.
Oh no, for Vi. I was saying Vi was.
Oh my God.
Well, I for one, and Bindle. What's the other one's name?
Yoke.
Yoke. There you go. Thank you. And I just hand the shrimple over to the crab.
As someone who worked really hard on this, just like indignantly throws it to the ground, like fine, you don't want it, and I storm back into
my hands and I back slowly away. I am afraid of an angry crab.
I storm back into the kitchen.
I feel like you immediately scuttle back and start eating it off the floor because you are a crab, my friend.
I accept that.
You can't
You're
waste that meal.
No. It's almost subconscious. I just like it's for the show, and then I come back and I'm like, okay.
I 100% am interested in this shrimple, and am down to eat it. So if I got brought shrimple, I waited till I was done cleaning my nails and then got dirty and then got clean again.
Yeah, like basically, I've never been to a lobster bake. I've seen crayfish and crab. I actually do not eat seafood, and I'm a former vegan, so I'm doing my best. I do have a culinary background, but like, there's been a mass spoil of these shrimple. I can't remember what their size is. Let me just find that on the.
Every time I hear the word shrimple, I get a little afraid. It's just kind of like it's about to be shrimp, and you're like, yeah, shrimp, and then shrimp, and it's like shrimp people, dude. Yeah, shrimp people, man.
Yeah, they're like 2 to 3 feet long.
Wow.
So
Good.
That's a lot of
big.
shrimple.
Yeah, like you've got like a.
Wow. I mean, one of those suckers.
Shrimple. Yeah, like Mary Few is like fixing her bun and is like, kind of like being really sullen and silent about this, like basically she's pretty resigned to this. Like, there's like a very quick kind of wormtide prayer that Yoke and Bindle do that's kind of like the equivalent of, if you're at a gathering where like one person is very steadfastly not religious, but you still need to say a prayer, you kind of try and do the Hail Mary full of grace, like as quickly as possible. Y'all don't really catch the specifics of what they believe or much of anything, but like you are offered shrimple, like Mary Few,
Great, amen.
yeah, is eating, some bread and like very pointedly kind of just like sulking about this. I guess that Minerva has like also is not eating shrimple. Like, yeah, it's like mushroom bread,
Delicious.
like
Probably not very delicious, actually.
It's got a real umami flavor. Like
umami.
I knew someone would have to do that.
Someone had to.
It all comes back to umami eventually.
It's it's like if you made a pumpernickel out of Vegemite.
Wow, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Illustrative.
Look, this is for our Australian fans who are
who
are feeding their kids as healthy breakfast as they can right
our
now.
wonderful national spread, which I have once tried to eat and found viscerally unpleasant.
My crab senses a disturbance on the force. Just
Is Pincushion gonna eat the shrimple?
Good question.
I mean, I feel like the answer has to be. Oh, I feel like the answer has to be yes, and just feel horrible about it.
Oh, that's true. Okay, no, that is really good. That's really good. Absolutely, yes. I forgot that they would get to feel horrible. They hear about the shrimple and like the moral quandary, and their eyes kind of like light up. And they're just digging in like more enthusiastically than you've seen them do anything thus far, and just in their head they're thinking, I'm gonna feel so shitty about this.
I like that, like this is the equivalent of someone who sees like information about like why eating animals is not okay, and it's like, man, I'm gonna feel so guilty eating some foie gras.
Yeah.
Adam Keel also does want us to know that Adam Keel also does share that fun fact: they don't say shrimp in Australia; they say prawn. So
those are different animals. What are you talking about?
Yes, but I also don't know that they like. I think they are used differently in different parts of the world.
What are you doing over there? What do you get from this?
Quinn wants a heart-to-heart
conflict. I think you should take a long, hard look at yourselves.
I also think part of the differentiation is where they are harvested from. So they may actually be eating prawns, which are similar to but not the same as shrimp.
Oh well, if they're not eating shrimp, then that's reasonable.
If these were prawn based, they'd be primple,
which is not quite as good, I think.
No, not quite.
Doesn't have that je ne sais quoi.
Promple. We know shrimp as only the tiny ones in fried rice. The big ones are prawn. Correct.
See, international.
That's what everybody came here to stream for, to learn about the culinary ins and outs of
about mucus.
Yeah. I don't know.
I will take any information.
We haven't been having enough crawdad representation, I think.
It's true.
I mean, look, if you want the undergrounds to be Louisiana, here's the thing. I can't do a Cajun accent. If you haven't been able to figure out from now, I can do various degrees of shrieking with my normal monotone. It turns out that like NPCs are rated in their shrillness by me because that's the one thing I can do to modulate my voice. So yeah, I could say it's underground Louisiana and everyone has a Cajun accent, but like I wouldn't be able to do one. It would have the flavor and authenticity of that.
I just love saying crawdad. It just makes you it takes you somewhere, you know?
It's an evocative I
Takes on
mean,
a trip.
what about a craw mom?
We
I
should
feel
do
like-
Why
that.
not?
These
Why
are the
not?
questions that we should be asking.
I feel like there should be a Cajun
Throwing another
actual
bomb on the
play
body.
OSR channel on Twitch. It's just called the Crawl Daddies, and all they do is dungeon
Oh,
crawls.
that's so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
that's
we're
really
coming up with
good.
so many good IPs tonight.
And then it has
Somebody
like a
needs to
crawdad,
get-
and it has a D20 in front of it.
And
Yeah.
it's wearing,
Like, I
and
can
it's
see
wearing
this.
a hat that says "Women want me, fish fear me. I walk this barren land."
Perfect. Yes.
just pushing the D20 in front of it.
Maybe you
Um,
could even get crawdads to roll the dice for you.
So
Oh,
as
that would be so cool.
so as the night goes on, what happens?
Thank you
So-
for bringing us back in.
We've
Yes, thank
totally
you for
got to say
doing this.
we've gone down a shrimp rabbit hole at this point. Or not even shrimp. We've gone down. We've gotten down.
We
Like
did the numbers. We did the numbers. Forrest Gump made a lot of money off of just talking
People-
about shrimp for an indeterminate amount of time. So, like,
Sorry
a
about
movie I've never seen, but people seem to like. So, you know, shrimp.
by the way,
It's
if you're an artist
not
out
what's for
there,
dinner.
I want to just say this right now at this point, not to anybody on stream because there are artists on stream. We have never had a piece of fan art done for this channel. I would really love the first piece of fan art that anybody does for this channel to be Crawl Daddies. I would really love that to happen. And I know don't normally break the fourth wall and look at our viewing audience and say, please do this. But holy crap, somebody please make Crawl Daddies a thing and send that to us. And I will change it to our logo for an extended period of time.
It's too good.
And if it doesn't happen in the next couple of weeks, I will probably pay somebody to do it. Just FYI. But like, I need Crawl Daddies to be a thing, and would love somebody to love our channel enough to just do it.
I mean, these are the hopes and dreams. So the crab, I assume, just munches into it because sentience, sapience, none of those things matter. It
I'm
is
on
all-
another level.
Yeah, you're transcended.
Transcended.
You're eating the stuff that like they cleaned out of the shrimple before like cooking them. They're
That's
like,
right.
It's a
these
crab or bee
organs
crab.
make
world.
humans go blind if you eat them, and you're like, nom 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 nom, the delicious garbage.
Yes, yes. They're like, we have a compost pile, and I'm just no. I am the compost pile. I am
I'm
just
the
give me all of
compost
it.
pile now.
Gosh dang.
And there is a crab sized bath. It's probably like a foot bath container, but it is definitely crab sized.
Good, good. I do a little claw cleaning to finish off the evening. They did a lot of chopping, you know. So
Yeah, you've so half of one of you has held away from this feast. So, you know, Yokenbid will clean up the mess. I mean, I guess probably defensively, the crab probably wants to like try and eat carapace, like lick the insides. Not lick because crabs don't have tongues, but like I assume that like there's just the grossness of like a crab that has been just made a guest. and
I'm
tells
just
them
yeah,
to
I'm
leave.
just like following behind with like two legs up in the air, like trying to get there, like stop them. And that's just I exit stage left.
Yeah.
Exit stage left, pursued by a crab with a knife.
Exactly.
Yeah. So after dinner, you're given free reign of the town. You know, and you could do many things. Yoke and Bindle offer, you know, that you could spend the night with them in prayer. If you would like to tend to your immortal soul, they're gonna, you know, sit in the dark and pray for worm-like guidance into the light. You could see the sights of their town, of which there are some.
There is something deep within Lex that deeply desires to spend the night with them in worm communion. Deep down inside, Lex.
Yeah,
that-
you know,
that really
these people are
really
like, hey,
resonates
would you
with.
like to talk about like your relationship with worms and how it like relates to your spiritual well-being? And you were like, yeah, dude.
That's
Gar?
100% Lex.
Let me
Lex's
eat
jam.
these strange cave mushrooms and talk to you about worms.
That's Lex's into that. If they're like, you should eat these mushrooms, he eats those mushrooms.
Yeah, so you're gonna spend the evening in hallucinations and bowel distress, and also probably severe discussions of worm religiosity.
Cool.
I am really happy for you and the decisions you've made.
Uh,
I
Just a
stick around
real-
with Lex. I stick around with Lex. I'm just like, they don't know I'm there though. I'm just in the corner.
Stealth crab.
just stealthily gnawing on a bit of shrimp in the corner.
I do want to toss out. There was a really good thing thrown out while we were in the middle of Crawl Daddies, and that's by ETB Tilted, and that's Shrimpsiphus, like Shrimpsiphissian,
Oh,
like Sisyphusian, which is very thematically
Wow.
on very good. I just wanted to point it out.
Thank
I
you.
love a good pun.
We must imagine shrimp's tasty.
Yeah, I guess you're maybe even hiding under one of the clawfoot tubs. You know, like everyone's just like, "Where's the crab? Who knows? It's doing crab things."
I look like one of the bath's feet, but I'm just the. It's actually a real crab. It's me. I'm sorry. What are you two doing? What are the what are
does
the other two?
concussion wanna do?
Sorry, no, go ahead.
You know what? You have more of an idea than I do. Go for it.
Psh. Well, I'm not very interested in praying all night in the darkness for some reason. I'd like
Yeah,
to
you
see if I can't
rationalist
like,
philosophers and your lack of respect for other people's faith.
I mean, like, it's just not my dig. So I was wondering if I might be able to find that priest guy who knows the way up. Like, if I could locate him.
You could go wandering looking for him. You know,
Okay.
it's kind of like you're in Vatican City and you're like, "I'd like to go talk to a cardinal and or pope." You know, like there's probably a lot of people that would like to do that. There's a holiday going on, but like you can try.
I'll be honest. If the
Okay.
statement in Vatican City was cardinal, that's actually just behind the curtain. Not super hard. Pope, yes,
Oh
incredibly
wait,
hard.
I forgot. Like reminder. Yeah, I forgot. Cardinals is almost everyone in Vatican City.
Yeah, I
going
would
for-
want to take a wander around, and
Yeah,
if I happened to come across any unusual gatherings, I would happily engage with them and have a conversation.
well, you're just a little bit at the door when, like, you get like a light tap on the back, and Marifu
I startle
is,
in the fists, but I can't because of the worm tied gown.
yeah, is like, you seem
Exactly.
sensible and upset about the suffering of your fellow sentient beings. Would you like to meet with some other free thinkers?
No offense, but I don't really have much else to do. So yeah.
Let me make sure if there's anything else she should say to you about that. Yeah, she does explain you things could be dangerous.
I love danger. It's like my favorite.
You're an adventurer. Yeah, so she takes you, like she pretends she's giving you a tour, like it's like, and here's where our neighbors live, and here's another house. Like our town is mostly housing.
And I hope I'll never have to see it again.
But does eventually take you to like a lower level of the fungarium, which is where they grow edible fungus.
Ooh, nice.
Bring me some of that
Enclosed.
To meet with some other people who, there's several seditionists there who are being like there's the Griddle is in charge. Is explained to you by Merrithew, and you do notice that like these people are unwrapping some oilcloths that have like weapons in them and distributing them.
Oh, that kind of sedition. I've been in this situation before.
That kind of free
undoubtedly.
thinking.
Yeah, there's a hulking woman who's missing her left arm who seems to be overseeing things. Let me just double check stuff. Yeah, do you think your friends would help, by the way? Merrithew was asking you.
I think in a pinch, I just don't think they have very cultured palates, is what it comes down to.
Well, we can't judge them for
Besmirch the crabs, sorry.
we can't judge them for following the norms of those they've just met, but this is what we do to the Shrimple is not acceptable.
I mean, I would agree. Generally speaking, I think people should have a say in whether or not they're killed and eaten.
You're one of yes. You should talk to Griddle.
Philosophically speaking.
Yeah, you're gonna get kind of a info dump. I just want to do it a bit quickly because I want to give us time to kind of do a debrief thing. But wanted to get everyone to like an endpoint. They'll give you weapons, like you can pick any weapon out of the Troika Armory. They don't want you to tell Yoke and Bindle about this. They suggest if you can't get the party to help that you flee the city tonight because like they're gonna let Shrimple in and kind of go ham on this.
Wormtide will never be the same.
Wow.
They're gonna kill the worm. Yeah.
I'm so down. I'm so ready. I've been dying to fight something.
Real quick, what Pincushion's been up to?
Yeah, what has
Question.
Pincushion been up to?
What the hell?
Pincushion, very simple answer. Pincushion has realized that there must be other people in this town who do eat the shrimple but also feel bad about it. And he has realized that he has a massive customer base.
So true.
So you're just going up to like random people like, do you feel guilty about eating shrimple?
Yeah, you want me like
I will
you
hurt
should
myself
feel-
to make you feel like less bad about what you've done. Like, do you see this
That's
strap? I'll
beautiful.
tighten it. I think that is a great note to end on.
I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because I am having fun running this, but
It is late.
Do we-
Wormtide is also gonna go kind of buck
Yeah.
wild.
Do we want to
Mhm.
do we want to do a flash forward scene for each of us, just a little vignette about what we think is going to happen? No roles, no requirements.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Vi, do you want to go first, or do you need a moment?
I don't want to hog the spotlight, but I want to eat some of that worm.
All right, so we'll that's a good thing to know. All right.
That's my flash forward. I like once things start to pop off and we realize what the Shrimple are coming in, bashing down the gates to do. I'm like, I'm on a higher level. As I said, I want to eat some of that worm. I want to try both sides.
Let's
Equal opportunity.
let's
has never been so delicious.
yeah.
Yes.
Let's maybe I'll pitch it this way. Let's have Pin do their scene, because I think there's a level of rabble rousing there, which I think leads into good revolution fighting, which I think is good for Minerva, and then we'll have Crab. I was trying. What's the name of Vi's character? But I have a good closing for I think piece 2. So let's
Cool.
do that.
Yeah. I think the rabble rousing is a good thing. I'd already kind of been thinking that. So I think what happens is I'm trying to like go to person, but it's not like really working. People are kind of freaked out by it, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. And I find like a square, and I just start like, I don't know how to put it, like announcing quietly because like they just don't talk very loud. Um, and so he's just like very quietly, and so people don't notice first. But he's just like, cleanse yourself of the sin of shrimple. I'll fucking beat myself up. You know, eating shrimple is bad, man. It's not good. You know it. You know it in your heart. But it's okay. Eat all the shrimple you want. Just come at me. I'll beat myself up. You know, and he goes like that, and so people don't notice at first. But then eventually, one person is just like, who is this quiet talking person? What are they saying? And then they start listening. And then they start getting mad. And then other people start gathering around and getting mad. And they're all shouting. Nobody can even hear what I'm saying at this point because I'm still talking at the same volume. Everyone at this point, like when new people come out, they're just like, what's this guy saying? And the person next to them is like, oh, he thinks eating shrimple is bad. And they're like, no. And then they join in. So I think that's the scene in a central square is that I have unintentionally, and I'm just still like up there. I don't even register anything's wrong. I'm like, wow, there's so many people who you know, I'm like, yeah, no, I got you. I mean, it's going to take me a while to get through all of you, but it's, yeah. So
Sounds like some great stage setting for the next one. Madeline, why don't you pick up there?
Well, are we covering what can canonically happen?
We're covering whatever you do. These are closing scenes.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be canonical or not, but if you want to draw from canon, you absolutely can.
Well, terrific. Well, I'm going to absolutely join the Shrimple cause, and I'll put a little I Love Shrimple armband on, and I'm going to accompany Mary Few and the rebels to the fight, but I don't need a weapon because I've got my fists, and I don't know if you guys know, but I almost punched a diamond. So
The worm won't protect you.
100% she's
Trust your
there
fists.
when- I'm sorry, what?
The worm won't protect you. Trust your fists.
Yeah, but she's ready for the fight. And as soon as the Shrimple invade the cavern, she just tears that worm-tied dressing off and fists are flying.
Just punching people, be like, eating shrimple is wrong, and then just
Yep.
watching shrimple kill these people on the ground, and be like, oh.
I don't really care who I'm punching as long as it's not a Shrimple, because I'm very sure that they're on the right side. So
Amazing.
Beautiful.
that's my scene.
After interrupting, like intermittently interrupting the prayers of the shrimple eating adherents of the worm, they're just like doing their praying, and every once in a while there's just like a crunch from underneath the bathtub, and they're like and they keep going. I eventually I come out to the ruckus of outside, and I hear that there's like to describe it very lightly, because I don't know how graphic I want to get with this. There's like carnage in the streets, which is great for, I'm a crab. And so I'm just like, I'm trying to like follow the
survivors
flow.
are so warm.
It's great. It's a hot meal. So I'm trying to like follow the flow of this, like, you know, like just these people tearing through the streets, because I figure they're going to end up at the worm. And I'm like, I want to be there when they do. So I'm like trying not to snack. I'm like, oh, I should really not have another bite. Just like, I gotta save room for the worm. I think that's.
I love this crab and their lack of self-control.
It's like there's a whole buffet, and they're like, I've got to get to the end, but oh my god, look at the brownies.
That's how they get you. They're like, oh, Red 61. And then you just get full eating shrimple and injure humans and like trash.
You're not even gonna have room for worm.
Yeah.
No, that sounds terrible. I hope I do. We'll find out next time. What about Lex?
So we see, I think, Lex in near the worm with wormed people all around. If you don't know what that is, you definitely get this book and find out what it is. But it's pretty excellent. Worm people around, swinging a bathtub left and right, like smashing into people, knocking them over, like absolutely demolishing people. And as Lex does this, we can actually see like the amount of energy it looks like it's taking out of Lex. And then all of a sudden we see kind of Lex like stop and fall to the ground, inexplicably just dead. We see like kind of like liquid, dark liquid pouring out of Lex's mouth. And then the Shrimples get the worm. They I don't know canonically what happens. They kill the worm. Right. And they retreat off into the underground, having successfully done this, leaving very few of these, what are they called again? The people who live here?
The down belowers?
The down below, the belowers, around. Those belowers come out. They're picking through the leftover rubbles. We see Lex surrounded by bathtubs and dead bodies. And all of a sudden we see Lex's body split open as the secret worm that was inside of Lex the entire time eats their way out.
Yes.
What?
And becomes the new worm
Yes.
that everyone worships in this city, and the cycle starts all over again. Because I was a
Wow. Very nice.
Because in this book there's a background that is, and I just rolled it, and I was like, I really want to be one of these first two, which is great because I've got a 33% chance. But you can be a bug. What are it's like the bug pretending to be, or the worm pretending to be, and you just pick any other troika background and you're that. So I just flipped it over to the other side of the book and rolled again and got the mini crown of Bathin' Sky, and had an absolute phenomenal time playing that weird Gonzo combination. And
Amazing.
so I was the body of a bathing worm that had been lost down here before, had made my way out and come back down again. And so
That's beautiful. I love the backstory on that one.
oh my gosh, it's so good. That's why I was like, when I was like, it touches something deep down inside me when they pray these things. No one out there watching
That makes
knew what
sense
it was.
now.
But now
Literally.
you look back and you're watching this stream for the second or third time, looking for all those hints, and you're like, oh my gosh. That was such a great time. I had a blast. We do a little thing here on, as soon as I can find the correct graphic for it, which I can't right now. We do a little thing here on +1 EXP called Reaction Roll. Reaction Roll is a live stream. Within a live stream, it's where we sit down with the creator of a game or game content that we just played and talk to them about what our thoughts were about that game. Today, we have been playing So You've Been Thrown Down a Well, a Troika supplement by Madeleine Ember over at Ember and Ash. And Madeleine, thank you so much for running the game for us. I can't wait to hear some of your thoughts also as somebody who had to sit down and run this adventure. But Madeleine, for people who may not be familiar with Ember and Ash, or may not be familiar with So You've Been Thrown Down a Well, would you mind giving us the elevator pitch for it?
It's a great game to go into completely blind, where you have no idea how to play a role-playing game. You've never slogged through any deep dungeons. You haven't crunched any dice. You just want to play something ridiculous, and everybody's on the same page. It's probably going to be ridiculous, but you play again as criminals who made some bad decisions, or at least bad in the view of the legislator, and you get to have some weird adventures underground. Some of my favorite things that we didn't end up touching on was, I do really love the ogachas. Like, they only communicate through gesture because they can't like make sounds. They're beetles.
Nice.
If only we had a character who would have brought that flavor in the entire time with us.
Yeah, but
That's awesome. It's a gorgeous book. I've had the digital copy for a long time. I actually went and scrounged around a couple weeks ago to go ahead and make sure I got the print copy because it's absolutely gorgeous, just like everything that I see come out from y'all. And it's absolutely worth picking up print copies, not just digital copies of these books when they come out. Some things, especially supplements, I'll just pick up digitally because I'm just going to run them. I don't necessarily need them. But for Ember and Ash stuff, Madeleine, you do all the art too, correct? Is that? And then
I do. Yeah.
Now it does the layout. Yeah, it's just they're just so gorgeous. It's worth picking them up. But you didn't come here to just hear me gush about that. Let's hear from everybody else. Sam, this was your first time playing Troika. This is your first time playing this. Tell people a little about who you are, what you do, and then what your thoughts were about getting thrown down a well.
Sure. I'm Quinn. I make games every so often when the mood strikes. You can find them at 200proof.itch.io. As mentioned at the beginning of the stream, there are holes in my shirt. You didn't look then. Don't break your streak now. So this was my first time playing Troika, and I suspect somehow that this is not necessarily the average experience. Just because, but like I had so much fun because what you get with this Troika stuff is just you get all of that sheer fun without any of that bothering with does this fit in this setting? What do you think about this thing? You're just like, I'm a crab with a knife. Like that, come on, man. You know, and you fall down the well and there's worms, God, influencer caves, and all of it just goes. Like Troika is a game that really lets you engage with it the way you want to engage with it. If you want to play it as an OSR weird fantasy combat game, I think you can do that. If you want to be leaning in to the dungeons, I think you can do that. But what this game gives me, what I felt when playing it, was just like, there is so much fun stuff here to build on if what you're trying to gain is a fun, silly time with your friends or even people that you just met. Like this was like, we got through what, a fifth of the content so you've been thrown down a well, a fifth, maybe, maybe give or take. And we still had a fucking blast. And I think you guys had a blast too, because there were just so many, the shotgun nature of Troika design just gives you so many different things to pull from for making jokes and suppositions. And you're just, and like, so if one thing isn't grabbing you, then you can make a stupid joke about this thing. And it's just like, it's a smorgasbord, You get, and of course, playing with you guys was very helpful because you guys are all really great, and I really enjoyed playing with you. So much jazz to be done there. But I had a total blast, and like I would want to play this again, and get a little and do a little bit more here. Yeah.
Next year at Troika Fest, we'll all come back and pick up just where we left off. Exactly. If Troika Fest happens again next year, which it was like 2 days before Troika Fest started. Everybody's like, I can't wait till Troika Fest next year. I was like, there is no conceit for a Troika Fest next year, but who knows what will happen in Troika City. Quinn, did you have any questions for Madeleine about the adventure, or for Fiona or the table about the system?
No.
Awesome. Let's actually go over to Fiona. Fiona, you ran somebody else's adventure for them. You have also read more Troika than most people ever will, both for fun and profit. Tell us a little bit about what your experience of running So You've Been Thrown Down a Well was like.
Yeah, running other people's stuff for them is like really stressful because, like, look, there's sort of, I think, like always the impulse of like, am I doing this like the book once? And like, obviously, like, to a degree, I don't know if the version of So You've Been Thrown Down a Well that exists in Madeleine's head and the version that I presented are the same or even similar, I hope I caught like a good spirit of it. Like the things I appreciated reading it is that like, there's like some surface humor to it. It's like, oh, you've been thrown down a well. Oh, there's a big worm. Oh, there's like a guy who's like really into this worm. And he's like kind of helpful. Like literally the counter chart, if you don't have a guide, is very difficult. and much more combat heavy. So like, we would have been using combat subsystems. But like, a lot of it's actually pretty ominous when you start thinking about it. I think that's like really fun to run because it's trying to find as many times as I can to use doubled meanings, or to like point out that like Tim does keep referring to you as a different category of people than him for reasons other than one of you is a crab. Like, he seems to have, I mean, he certainly is helpful, but he certainly isn't completely forthcoming. And, I think that that's fun because I think there's a school of designing just universally hostile PCs who are very secretive, and it's not only difficult to run them, but actually just makes players very frustrated because they're like, this person's just a senseless, like kind of like, nesting doll of like obfuscation. Like this is like trying to interview like, someone who doesn't want to be interviewed, and that's actually also not fun to do as a DM. So like, I really like the box of like stuff Tim knows and will tell you, because there's a lot of stuff he won't tell you, like the fact that, y'all are definitely fueling his worm apotheosis. So yeah, like I really like the details of it. I had a lot of fun running it. I hope it was at least like not deeply wrong to the instincts that made it in a way that is like, man, Fiona, you just didn't get this. It was just depressing. It's like watching someone say that they like what you do and just like setting fire to your dreams in front of you and then just like sinking the boat of your dreams that's on fire after like filling it with rats. I'm just talking endlessly. Anyway, I had a good,
No, you
I had a
don't.
good time.
If I can respond to that,
Please do.
You did a great job, and I think ultimately it doesn't matter what I wrote. It's about what plays at the table and what's fun for the group. It does not matter if it travels down any particular avenue. Just that it travels, just that it's an adventure, and I thought it was a fun one. So that's a success.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, I hope by that standard I did okay. It seems like
You
no
did
one
great.
was like, yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Let's. Did you have any questions besides did I do a good job of ruining your dreams for Madeleine?
I really was not fishing for a compliment, to be clear. It was more like a
yeah, of course.
Well, I didn't think you
description of
were.
anxiety. But like, no, I think it's man, have you had anyone run the Ogacha? Because like I was literally afraid it was gonna be a session where y'all were like, no, fuck him. Just fuck this dude. This man is helpful. Fuck him. We're gonna wander off into the dark, and then we're gonna roll like, I think it's a 5 and 6 chance of a combat encounter while wandering around in the dark, and there are no mushrooms and influencer caves. It's just things that are trying to murder you, and then you'll probably run into like the hive city of the Beatles that do not speak in a language at all. Like my thing was I was probably gonna try to do the vaudeville trick of put a playing card in your mouth and hum to make a weird sort of like rattling noise.
That's fun.
Which would have been a great thing of Troika Fest 1 stream. Fiona Geist chokes to death on playing cards
Oh
on fucking Zoom stream.
How was Triggerfest? Well, I watched someone die. So
We'd get hits.
right before you said that, I was like, "Oh, do that trick." But now, if that's an option, I don't want. That's not a. That's not a trick.
I don't think you could actually choke to death on a playing card. I didn't actually pull any out.
No,
So if you guys were wondering that way, I was going to do it, and also like there's a good chance I can. If you want to put a single playing, like you should make sure it's a laminated one, otherwise you're ruining the card. But like you can hum it so that like your teeth basically chatter the card, and there's the whistling noise. So like,
what?
It's one of the old tricks that you used in like.
And then you push a stream of air over the card.
You actually put it in your mouth. You don't have the card out of your mouth. You put a
Well,
card.
you know
in
what?
your
We'll get Jarrett to do it tomorrow during the interview. We'll
Okay.
get yeah. I know Jarrett has cards sitting right there, so that's what we'll do tomorrow during the interview.
Hell yeah.
Fiona and I will bully him into it.
I wanted to say I have I've read summaries and I've watched streams of a couple different ways the adventure has gone, and it's never gone the same way twice. I've had
That's
people who never
great.
went to up. I've had people who they had multiple people to all of their party fall off this bridge that features pretty prominently. And they had to figure out what happened, you know? Like,
There it is.
it's dangerous down there.
Because
Mhm.
the underground of the well is bigger than necessarily covered, which is why we're going to be. Somebody actually did have a really good. I think it was down too well. Was somebody else's promotion idea for the second inside a well inside a well conversation. So I can imagine this going in so many different directions. Vi, tell people who you are, what you do, what your thoughts were about the adventure.
Yeah, I am Vi. I'm here to play today. I was here to play today. YouTuber, retweeter about tabletop things. As someone that thinks critically about tabletop adventures, it's good to hear that it never went the same way twice, because I mean, knowing that there's like different tables for different occasions is really good, where it's like, if people are like, hey, Tim seems really focused on this worm thing and we really don't trust him, there's a tool for the GM to use when it's like, okay, well, they're trading the familiarity of the area for what they feel is in their best interest, and it's cool when it's a module is not afraid to write things down that you'll never see, that it's like, and that enriches the world in a way that lets you build on it. Like, you could have the people in Up talking about the bugs, and even if the players never meet them bugs, then you're able to like still put it back in the game, and that seems like fun. I had a lot of fun.
Good.
Because, and it seems like, in role-playing games, a lot of it is we're joking around about wrist clamps and snake hair and crabs with knives, and that was, I had a lot of fun doing that. If having the module to be around it, to have interesting things happen to drive our conversations forward, with like the diamond tunnel and everything. It's cool. I really enjoyed it. That was really fun. Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions?
Ooh. Do you have a favorite room that we didn't see? I kind of want to hear about that bridge. Is the bridge anything but a bridge?
It's a
It's called
running
the
bridge.
Twice Fallen Bridge, and it's mostly a test of how your party as a party can figure out a way to get across it without falling off it. If someone falls off, people around them can try to keep them from falling, and it's intended to cause this moment of tension in an otherwise kind of chill area.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had people fall and die, and then their bodies get taken over by beetles and stuff. So
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Yes.
yeah, they just show back up and they're like, everything's fine. I'm definitely not being run by a different insect inside my body right now.
Don't
Imagine
worry.
what would have happened if it was Lex and they were like, what the fuck? There's already a worm in here.
Excuse me?
Worm fight. Worm fight.
Occupied closes the chest cavity.
Exactly. I love that.
We're good, guys. It's fine. So,
I also love that spread. Like, I think, on like a level of visual design, I really love that, like, you've got kind of 3 columns under the bridge that go crossing the bridge, falling through, falling down, and then the other
Mhm.
side. And
That
it
was
just-
all Natalie.
Yeah, I mean, visually,
Yeah.
this adventure is delightful.
Aw, thank
Striking.
you.
yeah, I also love the giant spread of the worm. Like, that is I did
I
not
begged to have that.
So
I
good.
really wanted to do a big picture of the worm.
It was worth it.
With all the fungi, I love fungus.
So good.
So
Beautiful.
there are people like me, and we love fungus.
I did
It's fine.
allude to it. If you don't want to see what being wormed is, look away right now. This is the
Mhm.
picture of Tim being wormed.
The phrase "his arms fall off like ripe pears from a tree, bloodlessly and painlessly" is like one of those phrases I was just so excited to be able to say. I'll be honest, as a DM, I was excited to be like, look, we all agreed body horror is okay. Let me talk about Tim's rapturous sounds as his arms fall off.
I love also, I just feel like the best thing about Quinn's character is Quinn's character could have gone either way. Like, wait, people will take my arms off versus like, wait, people can feel emotionally bad for eating other sentient creatures. Like that's the emotional pull for
I
Quinn's
had a lot of
character potentially.
options. I had a lot of
Yeah.
options.
So no, I had an absolute blast playing. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Madeline knows I've been trying to lure her and Natalie to play more games with us here on the channel because I love everything I see come out from Ember and Ash, and it's a mix of amazing narrative design, amazing visual design, phenomenal layout. You guys tend to, so far as I've seen, play around in games that are a little bit more rules light so those things can actually really come forward, right? Like you're not having to worry about the crunchy bits because it is so much about the narrative. And, Quinn made the comment about like, well, I don't know, this is probably not like most Troika games. I've only played 2. I've listened to a number of others, but also I don't know that that's a thing. Like, I don't know that there is a certain way that Troika games are like, and that's part of the great things about Troika games in my experience of both consuming, reading, knowing, talking to people about it. There's not a thing they're like because you're pulling from all these different backgrounds, because like even talking to Dan yesterday about it's called the Numinous edition, the current, version of Troika, because it is about the sense of wonder and openness that it evokes. And even though, according to Dan, there are answers to every question, that knowing those answers isn't what's important. Sitting down, playing the game, leaning into it, and creating that experience, and being able to wonder, is this the thing, and then answer it, is what Troika is trying to get you to experience. John Battle's Bat's video on this is an absolutely great explanation. If you go to ttrpg.link, it's scroll down a little bit and it'll go through it. But I know I had a blast. I think I would have a million questions about it if I was going to sit down and ask you. And I'm gonna do a review of the supplement also too as part of our Troika Fest follow-up content.
Awesome.
I think one of the other things I want to point out is we didn't get to talk about what our crimes were. I do want to know from everybody what your horrible crime was. And I do want to know from Madeleine, are there points at where what your crime was matters or not? Or is it just fun narrative pieces?
Which do you want to do first?
Let's do that. My question for you first.
Okay, well, there is a whole section. If you had tried to climb up the well, if as like a party we had decided that's what's happening, we're going to make it happen, it's entirely possible that you could have reached a ledge that wasn't visible from the bottom of the well, and through there is a door, and there is a whole area called the Remember Room, which is where you have to replay your crime but do it right.
That's
So
sick.
everybody has to see it. Everybody watches you relive it, but you have to do it the way the law wanted you to do it. And if you do, you get a little sticker with a mushroom on it that says, "I improved."
Wow.
And a way to the surface is opened if everybody does that.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So what was your character's horrible crime that they had committed this time around?
I went to the plant observatory and I picked a daisy.
For what reason? Why did you do it?
I thought it was pretty and I didn't know I wasn't supposed to.
There we go. Awesome.
That's it.
Hardened criminal.
Hardened criminal.
You know it. I just wanted a daisy.
Quinn, what was Penn's horrible crime?
It's I was what specifically was the verb? I was found to be in possession of a protected monster species. And I was in possession of this protected monster species Why am I saying it like that? Species. There you go. To make someone, I was in possession of this to make someone jealous. I'm not. I'm not entirely certain who or what monster. Maybe I was. Maybe I was taking care of the crab.
A protected
Importing-
monster species.
Importing
Love it.
dangerous wildlife.
Mhm,
Love it.
Very.
Exactly.
Important backstory we didn't know till after the characters were done. Vi, what was your horrible crime?
Taking inspiration from this is a background written by Micah Anderson. It has great flavor text. You should go download it. It's pay what you want. I think that what happened was I violently escaped like being eaten in a kitchen. It was like this because I have the one of my possessions is the enmity of the gourmand kakagans of the pale spheres. So they don't like me. And so I figure I escaped and that was illegal. I should have just complied and let myself be eaten.
Obviously.
And I was in possession of a protected monster species. Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
It all
Beautiful.
clicks. It all
That's
clicks.
the synergy you can't get by pre-writing. You can only get through random dice rolls and strange backgrounds.
Right.
Love a
That's right.
table.
Yeah, I swore before Her Majesty Frondella the Salubrious and used a rude gesture for revenge. And so, which I think given my character's background, I think I took over the body of like a member of the royal family and did this to get thrown back down the well and to get my revenge on someone down here.
Nice.
And so, no, like I said, I had an absolute blast playing. I'm so thankful to Fiona for coming on and running, for Madeleine for writing this, for Quinn bringing the energy you always do, for Vi hopping on at the last minute. I always love getting a chance to sit down and talk to you. I love what you do. I'm going to ask you one last question, then we're going to hop off. I want to know your thoughts real quick on lore versus setting in Troika.
So the fact that Daniel Sell thinks that there's an answer to every question is a prime example of not giving a fuck what the author thinks, because that's not what's fun. So all of those, because what happens is you should kill Dan Sell and eat his ashes and make up
Oh.
your own answers to every question in the game. And the more opportunities that a game gives you to do that, I think the more that it has rich lore as opposed to a rich setting. And I think that Troika is fucking packed with it. It's full of it. It's like the like just the bit that I read earlier, the enmity of the gourmand kakagans of the pale spheres. Like there's like, are they demon chefs? Are they like, where do they serve? Who do they serve? What like, why were they trying to cook this surprisingly large crab? And it just opens up all these opportunities for you to come up with definite answers to those things, or not, because part of it is allowing yourself to not fall into the trap of overly world building and letting those answers come naturally, like Fiona was saying, without pre-planning, just letting them happen at the table. And that's the beauty of lore over setting.
Awesome.
That's like the Dan Harmon school of, you ask me this bit of lore, I've invented it. It's true now.
Yeah.
But there's also, but like Troika especially, that was so illuminating. Vi, like Troika, it doesn't let you pre-plan because the whole thing is such a goddamn mess. Like it forces you to live in the moment with the game. Like, that's really good.
Yeah.
What a juicy morsel to
Fiona,
finish
did
off.
I hear you jumping in on that also?
Oh no, I was just flipping through the book because why not? I was trying to think of, like, no, there's actually lore. Like there's true statements, Dan. There's true statements in this book, but also there's not. I don't know. I enjoy running the Blank Manja Thistle because you just constantly ask the players questions and they answer what's true about the universe, and it kind of works for generating what is Troika like through a first session, and that kind of permanently colors it. Like, I'm probably gonna just start with pen writing in like details to any run-throughs I do, because that was a fun way I defaced a copy of Ravenloft, in that I have a copy of Ravenloft that a party has defeated Strahd in, Strahd is dead. Almost all of the treasure is gone, and most of his furniture has been yeeted out of a third floor window. And people also couldn't solve a bunch of the doors, so they just took a pickaxe to one of the minarets. If you would like the secondhand dungeon, I'm going to publish it and just be like, no, Tracy Hickman doesn't get out anything.
That's so fun.
Secondhand dungeons. That sounds so cool. Secondhand dungeons
That's
of like.
a whole game.
I love
right
that.
there.
Like,
Yeah.
also
Like
even
an elaborate trading thing of just like, you run the dungeon, even if the party TPKs in the first room, you just write down what's on their corpses and you have to give it to someone else.
I
also
like that.
I love the idea of like them being published on transparencies where it's like you just scan the book in, you eliminate the background, you sell the transparencies, and people can just stick them in their own copy of the game and now see all the weird things you wrote in the margin.
Whoa.
Man,
Fun.
that's next level.
It's totally improbable way to print something, but like just it would be so much fun to just be able to be like, here you go. Here's the either digital, it's cheap, you can overlay it or whatever, but like here also transparencies if you're me copies. No, and I love what you said because I feel like Dan is probably 100% on board with the school of like kill Dan and eat what did you say and eat his ashes. I think Dan's probably 100% on board with that. Like,
I mean, please do not kill and eat my boss in real life, only in games. But that someone should officially stat Dan Cell for Troika so that like there's a canonical stamina count for Dan. Like, what skills does Dan have other than Britishness and publishing?
I think
Word
Britishness is
smithing.
pretty strong statting right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
obviously
British.
Dan can cast Zed also too.
Uh-oh.
And so
I mean, yeah, Dan is the only one that canonically knows what it does when he casts it.
right. And so but once we've eaten his ashes, it won't matter anymore. So,
Troika Adventure, hunt and kill the creator of Troika.
we talked a lot about how people want more Troika adventures, that like Blanche Maid's and Thistle is like kind of ubiquitously a lot of people's favorite, one of their favorite adventures. And so I would 100% love to see somebody just write one that is like the hunt for Dan Cell's ashes. And so I had a blast. Real quick, we're gonna whip around and then we're gonna at least end the stream. We can chat as much as we want, but people I know need to go. Quinn, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at AuthenticityTRP and on itch at 200proof.itch.io. And in the Brain Trust Discord, I guess.
Awesome. Let's go Vi next. Vi, where can people find you online?
I am on my YouTube channel, Collabs Without Permission, and on Twitter at I'm a Waffle Bunny. I'm also a mod on the Exalted Funeral Discord. You should come say hi. It's a fun,
Oh, you're
it's a
on
fun group of
Exalted
people.
Funeral?
Yeah. It's a good place. A lot of fun people. But yeah, come say hi. Come watch my videos. It's good stuff.
Awesome. Fiona, where can people find you online if they want to find you or if you want to be found?
People can find me on Twitter at Coiligorical. I'm trying to like wind down my social media usage a bit because man, it's just relentless. But I also have an itch.io. If you would like a Jellicle cat skin for Monster Hearts, which is a great way to take a very serious game that is very good and well designed and just play a terrible cat that just wants to go to heaven. If you successfully do this in a real stream of Monster Hearts somewhere and totally just with the consent of whoever is filming it wreck their game, I will totally give you a signed copy of something. Please.
Sounds like I need to run a game of Monster Hearts. And so
yeah, I'll send a signed I mean, it might be a terrible like MacGuffin gift. I have some awful books. Like
awesome.
Truly it'll be a thing. But yeah, there I'll pitch. Please buy a Monster Hearts skin I wrote as a joke.
There we go. Awesome. And we are going to pick a winner right now for a copy of a Troika book, whether the core one or another one. think.
Woo. Yeah, it worked.
T-Big Life. Hit us up.
Hey.
Shoot me a whisper. I know that you were in chat just a little while ago. Yeah, shoot me a message. We'll get that out to you. And then, Madeleine, tell us who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, and then we're going to pick a winner for a digital copy of So You've Been Thrown Down a Well.
I'm Madeleine Ember. With my wife, Natalie Ash, we make games. Quite a few games, mostly adventures, but we have some homebrewed TTRPGs of our own invention that are in the pipeline. We publish our stuff on itch at by Ember and Ash.
It's right. It's right below you also too. You're good.
Yeah, good. Okay. And we're members of the Cold Hearth Collective, which is a group of people who started making things because of the trophy contest. And we're all friends and critique each other's stuff and help each other publish our things and get it out into the world. So
And that is who I ordered my physical copy for. And there's at least a few more in the store. So if you want a physical copy, you can go there and catch it. And I will say the packaging was phenomenal also too. So please go support people who actually put real physical games into the world also too. But I just dropped the link to Downawell in the chat as well. My name's Tony Vicinda. You can find us at +1EXP across all social media platforms. We're a weird little brand that likes to multi-class in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. We are one of the collaborators helping host Troika Fest this week, which was just an invitation to the tabletop role-playing community to try Troika for the first time or just another time, whether that was reading it for the first time, checking it out for the first time, watching videos about it, participating in a stream, making something for it, or playing a game. If you can't do it this week, that doesn't mean it's not a great excuse to do it. Just set up a game with your friends online. There's also plenty of open games on the Discord server, which I'm going to try to type in just 1 second. But because I didn't, wait, maybe I did set it as a command. Hold on. Oh, I did. And so you can hop in there. Richard Ruane is running a game tomorrow night. That's an open game. It may be filled already. Chris Bissette's running one this weekend. We've got Josh running one tomorrow night. Tons of great people. We're also doing a huge giveaway all week long. That's all of the kind of core Troika books plus some other goodies that are thrown in. On Sunday, David, last name redacted for fear of horribly mispronouncing it, is going to run us through Ultraviolet Grasslands Troika.
Jealous.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So we're
jealous.
going to be playing Troika in the Ultraviolet Grassland setting. Check out David's work at Technical Grimoire over on the internet. Wherever. So tons of great resources. And then if you have any other questions, let me know. If you won something, shoot me a message here on Twitch to get the conversation started. I'll get you taken care of. Those books will come out to you either. We'll either get you the itch code or those books will get sent out to you by the folks at Melsonia, and I won't have anything to do with that, which is great because they get there way quicker when I don't have to remember to ship them. And so if you want to check out anything we do, +1exp.com. Our game Beards and Beyond is available right now. It's a weird game about beards that you might think that sounds like a theme you wouldn't be interested in. It's actually a way better game than you think it is, and I would love to have you check it out. Also, the pledge manager for Repugnant, my partnership with John DeCampos of Terrible Games, which is the world's grossest non-dehumanizing RPG. The pledge manager for that opens tomorrow, so if you missed the Kickstarter campaign and you do like the concept of garbage pail kids grown up in a trash dump of a world going on adventures to save things, go check that out. It's one of the most technically excellent but hard to look at projects of Zine Quest 3, in my own humble opinion. So tons of great conversations. If you didn't hit subscribe or follow, please do that. Check out our reviews on YouTube also. And if you want to support the work we're doing, you can check us out on Ko-Fi also too. We have a goal of $150,000, which is really just my goal that is like, hey, if I don't have a goal, I won't actually tell people about this. So I did made a goal. But we do monthly giveaways of a lot of game content on there, as well as putting our games and some other special content up there for monthly subscribers or anyone who's given that month. This is my first time remembering to say that part. Vi, do you have a good sign-off for me? You admitted the only sigh-off we have. Do you have a good one for this one? No?
Not, unfortunately.
You gave me one. That's all right. I'm asking way
Brain-
too much. Do what? You going to workshop it with me real quick?
Yeah, which we do.
I don't know.
What was this section called? This was called...
This one,
at
we
the
just
end.
call these our actual... Like, we don't have it. Let's play whatever. But we
No,
play
no,
them
no,
with the
these, like-
designers. I don't know.
The outro. What's the outro section called?
The sign up? I don't know. Oh, the reaction roll. Reaction roll is what
Reaction roll. There we go. There we go.
Ah!
Reaction roll. I can only think of for some reason I become like a camp counselor when you ask me to do these things. So I'm like, we should all do like that 15-year-old meme with like the hamster where we all like turn away and then we're like, dun dun dun.
Well, let's do that this time, and then I'll keep on workshopping something. All right, so we're all going to look
I
away.
apologize for
We're
suddenly
going to
turning
3,
into a
2,
camp
1. So
counselor.
we're going to look to the side, and then we're all going to.
Why do you do this to me?
What are we doing? How are we doing it?
Count it off.
Vi, lead us through it.
Here we go, everyone. Okay, turn to the side. 3, 2, dun dun dun. Thank you all for watching.
The best thing ever. Come back and join us tomorrow for an interview with Fiona and Jarrett, or on Friday for our design jam, creating alchemy for Troika.